I'm Dionne Miller from ABC7, and you're listening to Braggs in the Stands.
One week to Chicago Bears football. Start the kid. Let's go.
The Bears, they started this new tradition last year where they celebrate their wins the correct way.
Bottle and Sylvie, ESPN1000, don't miss it.
I know what you mean.
It's like their own Philly.
Okay. Okay, I think what it is.
We shouldn't be showing this. Am I crazy?
Sign that is. What if I told you 17 minutes of rain would wash away 108 years of drought?
Do you see this team growing into the team that you were in 2005?
Great practice, everybody.
Ridiculous.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Braggs in the Stands, and I am your host, Gregory Braggs Jr. We got the Braggs in the Stands Trae Tunes crossover show special ESPN 1000 extravaganza. however many things you want to call it today. We're going to have some fun. Good morning, Armando. We're excited to have everybody here today. Trae's going to be joining us in just a few moments. And, let me break down what you're going to be seeing here today. It's a lot. We got a jam-packed show. This is going to be over 3 hours. So come in and hang as long as you'd like. You can pop in and out if you got to go eat breakfast or whatever you got going on. But we have special guests to start off our show. We've got ESPN 1000's very own Jeff Meller joining the show in just a little bit. He's a producer and producer of many shows, host of many shows, does a lot of great work with ESPN 1000, and he's kind of the fantasy football expert of their show. So we wanted to bring him on today because at 11 a.m. later down the road on today's show, we're doing the Trae Tunes show fantasy draft. It's a 12-team league. If you've been watching Trae Tunes show on Twitch, they've been setting it up for the last few weeks. So we're going to be live for the fantasy draft so you can follow along while we make our terrible picks, or at least my terrible picks, because I always have a meltdown whenever we do fantasy football drafts. And I've got two this week. I got one today, and then I got one Tuesday. I know nobody cares about fantasy football, or at least your own personal fantasy football teams. But if you want, hang out here in just about 10 minutes. Jeff Meller from ESPN 1000, fantasy football expert, does the pregame show for the Chicago Bears on ESPN 1000. He's got a new special host joining him, Dion Miller, who's a great friend of the show and such an electric personality. Excited for her and Jeff to do the pregame show on ESPN 1000 for the Chicago Bears pregame show. And, and then also, a man that needs no introduction, obviously, and a great friend of mine and a great friend of the show, Marc Silverman from ESPN 1000 will be joining us at 10 a.m. Central. So we got Jeff Meller first, and then we got Mr. Marc Silverman on deck. And then here you see me and Waddle and Trae Tunes. And when they did a live remote show just a few weeks ago, when the Cubs mass exodus was going on and Bears training camp was just getting underway. So a lot to cover. And like I said, Trae should be joining us here in the chat in just a few moments. He was getting the login code and making his breakfast. Trae is the busiest man in show business. And, he had a karaoke night. Again, he's working hard. Between him and Cap, I don't know if they ever get any sleep. And so, like I said, the busiest man in show business, there he is, our guy, Trae Tunes, joining us. Up and at it, very minimal sleep, but he's a soldier. He can handle it. If I didn't get the kind of sleep that Trae doesn't get, I would not be able to do anything. But this guy seems to be able to roll through the punches no matter the lack of amount of sleep he gets. Trae, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain one bit.
You gonna fall asleep during this 4-hour show?
Oh no. Right. I probably literally got 30 minutes of sleep. I just couldn't sleep. Of course, my mind was racing about everything, and I got something like so minute, like fixed with my computers that I was really excited about. So I've been like trying to solve this issue for months, and I finally got it figured out. So I was happy about that, and I just couldn't sleep, and I was like, okay, I was excited about today with the guests coming on and all that stuff, and I just couldn't get rested and settled.
Are you the type when you're sleeping, do you watch a movie or do you sleep in silence?
Watching a movie and stuff.
Yeah, I got a movie on in the background when I fall asleep, and I hate that too. Like sometimes you'll just be laying there with your eyes closed, and you'll literally even it happened a little bit last night where I'm listening to the entire movie and I can't fall asleep. Is that what happens with you?
Yeah, or if I can't sleep in silence for some reason unless I'm just dead tired. Like I'll just get up and go back to my computer and try to figure something out that I'm like, oh yeah, maybe if I try this, then get up and go, and it's like I wind up not going to sleep anyway. So
now, are you the type of guy like me who lives with a life full of regrets, and you're thinking about something you said 15 years ago that was really embarrassing, and you're like, why did I say that?
Oh, I've got no regrets. It's just like my mind I'm always thinking about something, and it's like a gift and a curse. to be able to like, all right, yeah, I'm going to solve this issue and I'm not going to sleep until I do. But then it's like, yeah, I need to sleep. It's like it's like a gift and a curse. And if like, I don't want to waste time telling y'all what it was, but all right. So I know a lot of y'all know I've like been working on computers. This is my older computer, and like I couldn't get the backlight keyboard to come on when I turned on like the keyboard, and I couldn't get the mouse to operate the multi-touch like with the drivers and stuff because this is a MacBook and I put Windows on it, and like just. I know it's sound like a bunch of nerd stuff, but
yeah, way over my head.
Right, yeah. Like when I finally found a YouTube video that explained what I needed to do, and I got through it, and I saw that back, man, seeing that keyboard light up in the back, I was like, oh my God, I finally got it. I mean, I know a lot of people won't understand, but it was a big triumph for me and a big deal because my eyes are like, I need that back lit keyboard, so it's like I'm going to be able to do a lot more.
Sure.
With that, yeah. Enough of the nerd talk. And I'm like,
yeah, we got the nerd talk out of the way, and we'll have plenty more of pillow talk as we go forward with our 4-hour show here today, with all the stuff coming up. Waddle and Marc Silverman at Waddle and Sylvia at 10 a.m. and then our fantasy football draft at 11 a.m. And that is why we are bringing on our special guest right out the gates. Jeff Meller on the road, just finished up his fantasy football show this morning on ESPN 1000, and he joins the show now. How you doing today, Jeff? Are you there, Jeff? Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear us, Jeff? He's on the phone. I got him in the chat. I know he's driving from the ESPN 1000 studios. There he is. How you doing, Jeff Meller?
You, Trae, but I cannot hear Braggs.
Oh, wow.
I guess
I don't know what you nerds are doing back there, but I can only, and I guess maybe the argument can be made that that's the best part of the show is listening to Trae and not to Braggs there. But it's gonna be hard to do a conversation with you gentlemen if I could only hear Trae Tunes. So I'll see if we can troubleshoot this here. Maybe I'll rejoin.
Yeah, that's a good. That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
You guys want to stall while I try and rejoin the broadcast? See if
1,000%. If there's anything I'm good at, it's stalling and talking too much. So we will absolutely stall for Jeff. Jeff Meller from ESPN 1000. He's on the road. He just finished up his show at the ESPN 1000 studios. He's taking his kid to soccer or football practice, one of the two. And he was nice enough to agree to join us today to give us a little fantasy tips. As we embark on our 12-team, the first ever Trae Tunes show fantasy football league. I wasn't going to do it at first, but you guys twisted my arms. Let's see if he can hear us now. Jeff Meller, can you hear me or can you only hear Trae?
Well, I haven't had a chance to say anything.
That is a beautiful, beautiful sound. The voice of Greg Braggs on the other end. It is good to hear both of you gentlemen. How you guys doing this morning?
Great, man. And we appreciate you joining us. We know you're on the road getting ready to take your kid to football practice or soccer practice.
Yes, football practice, not even practice. It's a game. So season began. So we got a soccer tournament up the north side. So we're going to be heading out to that later today, but driving home from work right now. So just wrapped up the first fantasy football show this season. So that was fun. So it's my pleasure to join you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. And we thought you would be the perfect guest here today because we have our own fantasy football league draft here coming up at 11 a.m., which we're going to stay live for a 12-team league. So, let's get right into it because, I know there's a lot of people out there that want to get as much fantasy advice. And obviously they can listen to you on every Sunday, doing your own fantasy football show. But for those that, need to get a little more tidbits of information from you, what are some of the guys because everyone's always targeting running backs right out the gate. What are the running backs you're looking at in those first couple rounds? Ezekiel Elliott used to be a perennial first round pick. Are you avoiding him this year? Because it seems like every year this guy falls on my team and then it never seems to work out. Is that a guy that you're avoiding in the first 2 rounds this year?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's one of those things where it always depends on where you're picking. I'm not avoiding him per se, Greg, but I am a little bit hesitant about putting him in my top 7 or 8 guys. A little bit concerned about what happened last year, but I do think you can tell the story as to why that happened. Like, he dealt with COVID. He was outspoken about not completely feeling like he was back to himself when the season began. And then the Cowboys were absolutely decimated by injuries, right? And then once Dak went down, that really kind of completely pulled the plug on their season. So I think you can see why.
Oh, you mean Andy Dalton didn't help him?
So surprisingly, no, he did not accent the skill players as much as some would have thought. But there's also a point too where you get to a draft and you're in the 10 or 11 spot, and if Elliott's still there, that means that a couple other running backs that you may have been looking at have been scooped up prior to him. And at a certain point, you just can't let a guy who's going to get the volume like that go. And I hate to let things like Hard Knocks persuade me too much, but he has looked impressive, in the time that we've seen him on camera. So I'm a little more open-minded to picking him in the first round. And if he's there in the second, I just don't think you can pass a guy like that up, because the truth is there's only really, 14 or so running backs that you feel comfortable are going to get the full workload.
So I'm going to ask one more running back question, then I'll kick it over to Trae. David Montgomery, we'll stick to, the city of Chicago, our beloved Chicago Bears. This is a guy, Matt Nagy has made promises in the past on the ESPN1000 airwaves. He said he's going to run the ball, and then he didn't. Now this year he says he's going to get 20 plus carries a game to David Montgomery. Do you trust that after what we saw from the Chicago Bears to end last season, where they started to do a little more ground and pound, play off of the running back instead of the run and gun that they tried with Nick Foles and it didn't work, do you believe that Matt Nagy is going to actually stick with the run and let David Montgomery be the workhorse that he is?
So, I buy it a little bit. I do think that they probably learned that they were going to be a better team if they committed to the run, because even though he has visions of maybe grandeur and being the, Chiefs 2.0 at some point, until you actually see some of that happen, I think Matt Nagy is certainly focused on winning football games, and giving David Montgomery, 20 touches is probably your best path to do that while Andy Dalton's under center. If and when Justin Fields takes over, I think we've all had a long conversation about if that, soft landing spot could be week 4 against the Lions. Things might change a little bit, and all of a sudden I could see a scenario where David Montgomery started out with a lot of carries in the first 3 weeks, but all of a sudden if Justin Fields is on the field, that will hurt Montgomery's, fantasy value, because I think Justin Fields, once he gets out there, will be somebody who, like a lot of other quarterbacks around the league, is going to be gobbling up yards running himself, right? That's why I think why all the Bears fans out there are really excited about having a guy who threatens the field and the defense is like that. And so for fantasy purposes, I am not really buying into where David Montgomery is going. He's generally, a mid-third round pick because of this, so many running backs not available after that point. But I'm concerned that when Justin Fields finally does get onto the field, his value will take a little bit of a hit, because I think Fields is somebody who's going to be running in touchdowns, and that won't be, that's going to hurt David Montgomery. So it's one of those things where I'm always trying to look at it from what's the real life, NFL, what's going to happen in terms of that. But then you got to dissect it and say, okay, from a fantasy perspective, how does this affect these guys? And that's where I think David Montgomery, his value, forget the fact whether he gets 20 touches, it's the goal line touchdowns that Justin Fields potentially could be stealing from him that will really hurt his fantasy value.
Sure. So, Trae, fire away with whatever fantasy questions you have, because I'm going to be gunning for you today in the draft. So
it's almost like I'm trying to be careful what questions I ask, because I don't want to give any of my fellow competitors any of my who I'm looking at in particular. But I think everybody's of course looking at tight ends, and it seemed like there's a big drop off after Kelsey. Who after Kelsey would you consider drafting high, like, maybe like fourth round or something at tight end.
Jesper Horst.
Sure. No, so Travis Kelce, for the most part, I think Kelsey's he's basically a first round pick if you want him. That for me is just too high. I love the dude. I've had him on my team in years past and won plenty of fantasy championships with him there. But the difference was I never had to take him in the first round. Now you have to, if you're in a PPR league, you have to take him in the first round because that's where he's ranked, in most of the draft platforms. And for me, that's just too high because now you can't get one of those, bell cow running backs that we were just talking about in the first round. Right. And trying to find those guys, sure, maybe you could find a Javonte Williams in Denver in the 5th or 6th round and you get fortunate. But, what I'd rather do is take a stud running back in the first round and then also take Javonte Williams again in the 5th or 6th. And maybe I get fortunate. I've got 2 stud running backs. But taking Kelce in the first round, Trae, that's too high in my opinion. You got to let him pass. Just let the other owners go ahead and take him. That's fine. They're going to feel great about it, but they're going to be hurting at the running back and even wide receiver position, depending on how they play out the second round. Darren Waller in the second round, that's a little high for me too. It's kind of the same philosophy. But now, if you start talking third round, if George Kittle slips into your draft in the third round, I've been scooping him up in a lot of third rounds because I think if you look back, like when Kittle's healthy, he's almost on par with Travis Kelce. Maybe he won't catch 100 passes, but he very likely could go for 1,400 yards. He's done it in the past. He could go for double touchdowns. So George Kittle in the third round is a great value for me. And then you're talking like, what I'm not taking? I've seen him go way too high too often is Mark Andrews. Boy, if you want to buy into Lamar Jackson, passing to Mark Andrews for double-digit touchdowns again, it's certainly possible. But again, the 4th, 5th round for Mark Andrews, too high. Both TJ Hawkinson and then, he's going to be the focal point of the Lions offense. He's somebody who I've seen drafted in a lot of 5th, 6th, even 7th round at times. So Hawkinson's a huge value. If you can get him, go ahead and grab him. I love him where he's being drafted. And then the final wild card in terms of elite tight ends, Kyle Pitts. Listen, we know he's the highest drafted tight end ever in the history of the NFL. And, you may have seen a lot of stats out there that only one tight end's ever gone over 1,000 yards in his rookie season. The coach, Ditka, of course. But outside of him, who's done it? Well, my argument is, Kyle Pitts, yeah, he may not be a tight end, though. The truth is he's a physical freak, and I expect Arthur Smith to utilize him in some ways, in ways that Julio Jones was utilized for the Falcons in previous seasons. I think Kyle Pitts has an opportunity to be a huge goal line threat and red zone, touchdown maker for Matt Ryan this year. I think Calvin Ridley's going to be bracketed quite a bit without Julio Jones, and this is going to be an opportunity for Kyle Pitts to go crazy. And, he's kind of listen, you're going to still have to pay a premium for him because lots of people love his ability, but I'm not scared of taking Kyle Pitts in the 5th or 6th round if those other 3 tight ends that I mentioned, the first, the Kelce, Kittle, and Waller are off the board. I'm okay, going and grabbing Kyle Pitts, in 5th round because after Hawkinson and Pitts, there's kind of a huge drop off, and you kind of at that point you just gotta wait on tight end. In my opinion, wait till the later rounds. Don't force it if those 6 tight ends are gone. And I say 6, assuming that someone else will take Mark Andrews too high.
Right.
Yeah, I like the Kyle Pitts thought. He kind of reminds me, and I know they have different position titles, but as you mentioned, Kyle Pitts isn't necessarily your conventional tight end, but a guy like Chase Claypool, who is a big body, heck, he's so big he could have played tight end, on a certain team. I see that kind of a breakout season for a guy like Kyle Pitts, so I completely agree with you there. Now, you mentioned Lamar Jackson in your description there, and that had me wondering about quarterbacks because, you're talking about not rushing on tight ends, but I am somebody that always seems to rush the quarterback spot, and I get antsy because once the first quarterback comes off the board, it seems like it's a waterfall moment, just similar to the tight ends. What is your philosophy when it comes to a one quarterback league and how early you're taking them? Are you the crafty type that waits later and finds the guy that nobody's finding, or do you want to make sure you get your guy, in the mid rounds?
So, I can do it I don't know if I have any specific philosophy, Braggs, because I try and approach every league differently. And I think the one thing is if you've done it long enough, you can understand that every draft's a little different, right? So if you know your league mates, you have, like, if you've been in this league for 10, 15 years, people become predictable. I try to avoid becoming predictable, and I'm always trying to figure out where the value is. So as you mentioned, you have to look at the quarterbacks every year and say, how do I feel? How do you personally feel? Like I'm okay with Matthew Stafford being my starting quarterback, and he's on most ranks, he's sitting in that 12 spot. So if you're talking about a 12-team league, chances are you can get Stafford, 8th, 9th, 10th round. In most traditional leagues, you can get him there fine. But the other thing is, are we talking a standard 4 point for a touchdown pass, or are we talking about 6 points for a touchdown pass? Where I think what some people maybe don't completely ascertain when you move to the 6 points for a touchdown pass, it's not that necessarily, guys who don't run get less value, or I'm sorry, more valuable. The runners, what happens is their value is really tied up in their ability to run in touchdowns that are worth, 6 points versus 4 in most leagues. But like a guy like Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, all of a sudden those extra 10 rushing touchdowns that would be worth, 60 points. Well, all of a sudden, if you can throw those in, it's the same thing, right? So, that's where I think you got to make the differentiation. And if we're talking a standard 4 point for a passing touchdown, then okay, the runners have a little bit more value because of those possibilities to run in touchdowns. But if the same thing is, though, there's so many quarterbacks, and as long as you're not talking super flex Braggs, you can always get one later in the draft. And if you're not happy or you don't feel completely confident with having Matthew Stafford because you're like, you know what, he had a back injury last year and I'm a little bit concerned. Well, that's why I always say, well, okay, don't leave yourself hanging. Go ahead and find a second quarterback in that mid-tier range in the teens that you feel good about, that you also think could have a breakout year. Maybe you like to. I personally don't love to, but some people out there do. So just double up. And I think people get caught up or hung up on experts saying, oh, don't draft a backup quarterback. You don't need to. I'm like, you know what? If you're doing this the right way, by the end of the season, half of the roster that you drafted is not going to be on your team at the end of the year. If you're cycling through the free agency wire like you should be, if you want to be competitive in fantasy football. Like if you draft 60 players, if you're going to be a championship caliber team in a competitive league, half of those guys are going to be gone at the end of your roster. I'm telling you, go back and look at your roster and what you drafted on draft day last year, and then look at the championship team. See how many players were no longer on their team at the end of the season. I'm guaranteeing you, most good leagues, most good teams, half their players are gone because of injury or just they're unproductive. So you got to be willing to churn through your roster. And on draft day, don't worry about what the experts say you need or don't need. Just be willing to make sure that you're playing the game, because you can't just draft your team and forget about it if you want to be good at fantasy football.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't even know if I answered your question about drafting quarterbacks, Braggs, but there's a long-winded answer.
No, I like it. You help fill up the air, and then I don't have to do all the rambling. And Trae knows I'm definitely the expert at that over here. Let's get to the nuts and bolts before we let you go, because I know you got a busy day ahead of you. Soccer games and everything else, college football here later tonight. But Will Dutan, Liam Dutan, as he's known in the Twitch chats, and ESPN1000 loyalist. He wants to know, the best team names, because, that's what wins it for you. If you've got a good luck team name, it normally is the one that takes you home. Do you have a particular team name that you've always had, been fond to in your past days? And what's your team name going to be this year?
So, I think the one thing is I generally personally try, and because I am as the quote fantasy football expert, I am involved in, I'd say, 6 fairly high stakes leagues. So I make sure that I don't go with the same name in every league. I alternate them just based on the personalities in my league. So, for instance, one league, I think most people who are listening to you guys probably are familiar that I can have a dirty side to me at times as well. So, like one league where I've got a bunch of buddies from high school who I've got a long-standing relationship with. We may all have team names that that's in some way remind us of younger days partaking in strip clubs, right? So there may be something that triggers a memory for someone else that maybe only the people in the league get, but that may be specific to that league. So I just want to know that when I'm on my app, I know what league I'm going to. So I try and in some ways, make sure that it applies, so that for my own personal, when I'm going to set my lineups, like I know right off the bat, okay, which league am I going to? I'm going to, this is the Spearmint Rhinos. This is,
Right.
I know this is all my high school buddies, right? Or this, so it just depends. The one thing, I'm not a big fan of, playing on players, names, but it doesn't bother me per se, but I don't go on my way to be extra creative and have some pun that's related to a player. But I know some people love that personally. So, how could you not love?
Don't get me started about
Brandon Marshall, right?
Don't get me started about strip clubs, because I just got back from Las Vegas, and I'd be remiss to tell you how much the boys spent at Sapphire. But Liam Dutan, he's always got the jokes in the Twitch chat. He had some suggestions for you, and they were your team names can be Do Not Pay, Bankruptcy, Wait a Week, Tomorrow I Got You, or I Already Paid. You're getting a lot of comments in the chat about, not paying up. Do you have any comments to that?
I mean, if folks want, how long do you want to go? I know you guys got Sylvie coming up at 10, so I'm sure he'd gladly like to have the last word and make a mountain out of a molehill. That's certainly possible. I think folks by now are aware, right, that Sylvie has been played for his 6th place finish. He has made his money. It has entered his Venmo account. We've gone over this. However, do you guys want me to lay it out? I mean, for the longest time, I'll give you guys, I'll try and do the abbreviated version. So the league that Sylvie was upset that he didn't get paid in, I was asked to take over as commissioner of this league that had been going for 5 years prior to my entry into it. And so I begrudgingly said, fine, I will take over the commissionership, because the guy who had been doing it didn't want to do it anymore. And basically, so that nobody else had to do it, I said, fine, I will do it. And I did it, graciously for, probably 5 years prior to COVID. And nobody ever had an issue getting paid on time in a timely manner. That's when I collected cash straight from people on draft night.
I didn't even have Venmo or anything.
Didn't have a Venmo. Yeah. I never had a Venmo set up. I'm a cash guy. I've always been a cash guy, but I understand, we're living in a Venmo world now. Anyway, I didn't have Venmo. COVID starts. Sylvie, has my my cell. So I'll give Sylvie as a quick pay guy. So Sylvie was literally the only person who sent in his entry fee last year, because he had my account information. So he just hit me up. So he pays me. Meanwhile, the rest of the league, we're, waiting through COVID. And I'm like, hey, when we get back together, we'll all divvy up money, because I personally don't love to have, fantasy football entry fees circling in my account, right? I don't know about you guys, but I like to keep my income separate from my fantasy football money. That's just how I like to do it. Anyway, Sylvie's the only one who pays. And sure enough, the season wraps up, and I get a text from Sylvie. I was like, I even said in the text, my bad. I meant to get on this. I'll try and get on. I'll get into it in the next couple of days and get this taken care of. Well, a week or two went by, and again, I got busy. And I will admit that was my fault. But at the same time, I was being the commissioner of a league that I never wanted to be the commissioner of. And all of a sudden, he's getting all antsy, hey, get me paid. And then he took it to the airwaves. And when he took it to the airwaves, at that point, I was not going to be bullied into getting Sylvie paid. Yeah. And so I deliberately dragged my feet on collecting money. And he's actually lucky that I got him paid by, I don't know what it was, June, because I was actually considering waiting until this weekend to actually pay him before the season started. But I decided, you know what? I will be the bigger man. I will go ahead and collect the funds from everybody, and I will get Sylvie paid. And so eventually he got paid. But of course, you know how it is. Sometimes you got to make things into a big ordeal for content. So I was happy. I was happy to play the role of content provider.
Yeah, you're
Right.
100% right. You nailed it and hit the nail on the head when you said bullied, because I have noticed this since you left, Meller, your warm and loving presence on the Waddle and Sylvie show, and since you've left and they've shuffled the deck there. We got the bully crew over there. It's all for content and bits, but they are there. But don't let them bully you. They do it to me too. So I got your back when it comes to that. We'll address that when Sylvie comes on later today. But I got your back. Don't let them bully you, Meller.
No, don't worry. Hey, guys, like I said, that's why I deliberately made it into a bigger thing than it had to be, because at that point, I was not going, like I said, be bullied into, some on-air gimmick that was going to. So again, content purposes, I know a lot of folks like to pretend like, oh, Meller's but whatever, he's been paid. And this year, everybody in that same league has paid me through Venmo. And so I cannot wait to go ahead and put a down payment on a condo in Colorado. And at that point, no one will ever hear from me again.
There you go. I had a guy, and he's a co-host to this show. He's not on today. His name's Johnny B. He forgot to pay. I meant to get the money from him in January. So simply enough, he just paid my fee to get in this year. So, it works out in its own ways if you know how to do it right. But the final question from the chat, the real Tony Montana, he wants to know, where you where you're from, Meller, because everybody calls you Midway Meller. And maybe give a little background of where that nickname came from. Real Tony Montana said he grew up by Midway on Narragansett, if I'm butchering that street name. So,
Narragansett, I think.
Yeah, Narragansett. Thank you, Trae, because I can't pronounce it.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, no, yeah, no. I believe. It's funny. You work in radio long enough, and you get lots of different nicknames. And I believe Jonathan Hood's the first one who dubbed me Midway Meller, because I grew up near Midway Airport, actually right around 59th and Pulaski, for anybody who's familiar with the area. So literally about 2 blocks away from Midway Airport. And that's where the nickname came from, Midway Jeff Meller. And, I went to St. Lawrence for high school and Loyola for college. So I've spent a vast majority of my life in Chicago, with about an 18-month hiatus where
I think we're losing them, Trae.
Yeah. Right. Well, segue. As soon as you say hiatus, he disappeared.
And the note says, he goes, "Oh, nice of Trae to chime in." So that was the one chance where between me and Jeff, we let you talk, is when Jeff's mic cut out. Right. Jeff, if you can hear us, you're welcome to come back in to give your final goodbyes. But I know you're hard on the road. We kind of lost your connection with, as far as being able to hear you. Can you hear us, Jeff? So, as I said, we appreciate all your time here. He's disconnected. We'll see if he hops back in to give his final goodbyes. Jeff Meller from ESPN1000 here. I think he's back. He's back in
video this time.
Now we got him on video. So
just take that off. Boys, I just arrived back home. So I'm sure my internet probably disrupted the call there. And I know you were asking the last question, so I didn't know if you wanted me back, but I figured I'd try and be.
No, we appreciate you. We're just going to give our final. Yeah, no, we really appreciate all your time. We know you got a busy day here ahead of you here on this Sunday morning to come on and give us your fantasy football thoughts. We really appreciate all of that, Jeff, and appreciate all your hard work at ESPN 1000. Between me and Trae, loyal P1ers, and everybody in the chat. We appreciate all your hard work, And then also, before I let you go, too, I have to shout out my girl, Dion Miller, your new co-host to your pregame show for Chicago Bears football on Sunday mornings, or whenever Sunday or Mondays or Thursdays, whenever the Bears are playing. How excited are you for Dion Miller to be on board with the ESPN 1000 team?
I'm pumped. I'm glad you brought that up, Greg, because I am very excited about working with Dion, because she's covered the Bears for a long time now, and it's going to be an opportunity for her to, have a conversation about the Bears that she doesn't always have the opportunity to do so in her, her tight 3-minute sports packages on ABC7. So it's going to be really exciting to have somebody who covers Bears day in and day out give her perspective. I know there's plenty of times I was talking to her the other day where, there's plenty of times where, somebody's saying something in the locker room and she wants to get to it, but she's got limited time, on a news broadcast that she's going to have the opportunity to explore and bring, listeners inside the locker room, what's going on. And maybe it's an opportunity for her to get deeper. And like, she's just great. So I can't wait to have the opportunity to talk with her and preview, every Bears game a couple hours before the game starts. Generally, most Sundays it'll be 10 to noon, but because they're opening in LA, the first game against the Rams will be, the Sunday nighter. So I think we're going to kick that one off as soon as the White Sox game wraps up on our air that day. So, we're probably looking at like a 4:30, 5 o'clock start for next Sunday. And I know Deanne's pumped to have the opportunity to finally get all these thoughts out that she doesn't have time to talk about on her, sports broadcast. So like, I think everybody's going to be, I think, really impressed. And I'm sure that once people get to hear Deanne bring you inside the locker room, folks are going to be, it's going to be a no-brainer. The ESPN1000 is going to want to be where you're locked into as you're heading to a Bears game, or if you're just getting ready, driving around for, hosting friends over on a Sunday before the Bears game. You're going to want to be locked into ESPN1000 because Deanne and I will get you all the information. Of course, Jeff Dickerson will be checking them out from Soldier Field or the road, wherever they happen to be. So we're going to have all the Bears coverage that you need right on the ESPN1000.
No, hey, it's a home run hire from you guys and Mike Thomas over at ESPN 1000. I've had Deanne Miller on my show more than a few times here in the last year, and she is such an electric personality. She really just lifts the room up with her spirit, energy. She's got, she's just action-packed, and I just think it's a home run hire. She's such a fun conversationalist. She just knows how to make the conversation light. And she's extremely knowledgeable with Chicago Bears football, obviously being in the locker room and being up close with these players and things like that. So I'm certainly excited for you guys, and we'll definitely be tuning into your pregame show here going forward. Trae, do you want to give any final thoughts for Jeff before we cut him loose?
Well, is the pregame also going to be on Twitch?
Oh yeah, all of our
awesome.
I think all of the live programming will be available on Twitch. Yeah, definitely. You know the drill, guys. Join the conversation. Follow us on Twitch and ESPN1000 Chicago. We'll be there for you guys, and we'd love to have all the Twitchers out there. And I'll do my best. I promise to monitor the Twitch chat room as well, so that you guys can go ahead and make all your jokes about my inability to pay out in fantasy football. I'll do my best to shoot a witty one-liner back at you during our commercial break. So yeah, we love and encourage everybody to watch and listen on Twitch as well as the ESPN Chicago app.
Well, awesome. Being, as they say, the faces for radio, you got a TV girl in there, so she'll help up the ante with the Twitch chat in the ESPN 1000 league, or in the ESPN 1000 chat. Again, a great hire. Deanne Miller, great friend of the show here. Very excited for you guys. So we'll cut you loose here, Jeff. Thanks again for all of your time. Would love to bring you on here going forward, but obviously we know you're a busy man during the football season, so really appreciate you coming on today.
Awesome.
My pleasure, guys. No problem at all. Just reach out, let me know. We'll make it work when you guys are available. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks again. Appreciate you.
Is Jeff Miller from ESPN 1000 doing his thing. Really appreciate it. And yes, really appreciate all his time today. Look out for him. Obviously, he has a fantasy football show every Sunday morning on ESPN 1000. And then now, like I said, they just brought Deanne Miller on board to the ESPN 1000 team. So you can hear Deanne and Jeff for the pregame show for Chicago Bears football on ESPN 1000. Sunday mornings, as Jeff said, if they're playing on Sundays, it'll be 10 to noon. And then look out for different times when they play on Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football. So that was a lot of fun with Jeff, Trae, and when Sylvie comes on, you can do all the talking. We promised we'd keep it short and tight with Sylvie.
Right.
He wants to keep it around 15 minutes. And if I start talking,
yeah,
it'll easily be 30 minutes. Like Pat Black, what's the over? Wait, should we set the over under? I saw Pat Black in the chat. Should we set the over under if we're going to actually hit the 15-minute mark with Sylvie? I promise I will let you do the entire Sylvie interview, Trae. I've interviewed Sylvie plenty of times, and I harass him on a daily basis. So I don't need to do any talking, Trae. You can completely take it away when Sylvie comes on, because I know Notes was giving me shit. But he came in the chat after you had gotten your questions in. And, I'm just not trying to, I'm just trying to help here. I'm not trying to leave you, stranded at sea. And obviously you can fire away whenever you want. And maybe this is a learning process. Trae does his own show. Trae does his own show on Twitch, which me and Will come in and interrupt and take over. And then I do my stuff over here. So when we do these crossovers, it's a learning curve. It's trying to, get, form this teamwork and this bond like Jeff and Dion will do. And I'm sure they'll do a better job of balancing it. But Trae, I never want to over talk. I try, I get nervous. So I start talking too much like I'm doing right now. But I want you to be able to talk as much as you want. And Pat Black, I don't know what he doesn't believe. Probably that I don't want to talk that much is probably what he doesn't believe. But you got to set the over-under, Pat, for when Sylvie comes on. Pound
the under.
We've got Sylvie coming on at 10 a.m., and we promised we'd keep it to 15 minutes sharp. So we'll see how that goes, But, Jeff was talking a lot too, Trae. It wasn't just me. He had he's our guest, so he's welcome to talk as much as he wants.
Right.
But he was talking a lot too. He had long-winded answers,
Yeah, see, the thing is, with you, it's like it's good to be able to fill that time. And like with my show, I have no idea what I'm going to say when I come on, and the guests that I have are sporadic. You guys just call in, and it's like there's no preparation ever.
Right.
like even when there is a guest,
I'm just trying to get your feet wet with the structured interviews.
I gotta get used to that.
Yeah, Will's a tough critic of me as well. As I keep it loose, keep it. But when you bring on a guest and they're a professional in the industry and they only have a certain amount of time, you got to be respectful of their time. You can't just shoot the crap for 2 hours. I mean, there's some podcasts that are able, like my good friends Phil and Shane Marceau over at the Tape Never Lies Network. They had Eric Kramer on for like 2 hours the other day. But if people want to be on for 2 hours, and we can keep it light, keep it loose, and shoot the shit. But when we're doing an interview like they do on ESPN1000, they bring a guy on for a segment. You've got a truncated timetable, so you got to be able to be a little bit structured. So, me and Trae will work through the structure of it, and I want Trae to get as many questions as he can in. I don't want to overtalk, and I know everybody's here for you, Trae. So I'm not, Will comes back in at the perfect time when we're talking about how Braggs talks too much. So I'm sure he'll have a lot to say to it. So. Hey.
Yeah. See, I don't open up my notepad and try to come up with some questions because it's like I'm just like it's so funny. Like when Silver gets on, I'm just gonna be happy, and it's like I'll just be sitting here smiling and be like, all right, hey, like, and it's like you don't want to get caught up like that. Like that's why I remember when I went on air when I was like when we were at the remote. Remember after the fantasy football thing. And it's like they even kind of helped me, like ask the questions, while it was like, I didn't feel nervous. I was just excited. And it's like, all right, like this is awesome. And I'm just kind of like frozen in a moment and just excited. But, it's not like I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm just like, yay.
Like Chris Farley in SNL when he's interviewing the Beatles. He's like, you remember that one time that you said that on the show? That was awesome.
Yeah, so that's exactly how I am. So I'm not going to just sit up here. Like you definitely going to have to help me through like talking to Sylvie because I'm just gonna be here laughing, and the only thing I got queued up for Sylvia are like some stuff from a Scameo call where he'll like
I'm Sylvie,
stuff like that, and
make sure you get those queued up.
Right.
Hey girl, you want some ribs?
Right. So
yes, get these queued up for Marc Silverman, who joins us at 10 a.m. Central. Very excited to have our guy Marc Silverman from ESPN1000. This is an ESPN1000 extravaganza today. I reached out to Waddle, but he's on vacation doing his thing out in Boston College. I saw him taking pictures at the old ball yard where he made his
awesome.
mark, and his daughter's going back to college and and things of that nature. So we brought Marc Silverman on today. He was gracious enough to agree to come on last minute, just like Jeff. We asked both of them yesterday, and for them to just, say, yeah, that just shows they're, we're so loyal to them and the ESPN 1000 family, but the loyalty they show to us, we truly appreciate, no question about it. So yeah, we're just learning. Teamwork makes the dream work. Note says, can't shoot the crap for 2 hours, but meanwhile, I call into the Trae Tunes show and proceed to talk for 8 15-minute intervals straight. I like that. They are. They're not 2 hours straight. They're 15-minute intervals. I like that.
Oh, that was a good one. That was right.
I like this comment from Van Helsing. We could just leave this up. We could just leave this comment up and not pull up any other comments for the rest of the show. This would just apply no matter what.
Van Helsing he just comes out of nowhere, doesn't say hi. Boom, that's what you get out of Van Helsing. But he doesn't like the shock value comments like that all the time. But then he doesn't mean it like anything, but he just does it for the shock value. Like it's so funny. Like I'm surprised I get through some of the show with him in the chat. It's like him, like notes. Of course, everybody has these hilarious comments, and I'm up here just trying to actually have some structure to the show. Like, yeah, let's talk about this and that. And then I look up and it's like these crazy comments, and I'm just like, you know what, guys, I'm just gonna, just follow, right. Just let it happen to me. Right.
Let it unravel. Like it did the other night. The later it goes, the more dangerous the Trae Tunes show can get. You do your day shows from 12 to 2, Monday through Friday, live only on Twitch. Those are the safe shows. You're going to be all right doing those shows, and you can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, to watch the Trae Tunes show. And there's the handle at the bottom of the screen for those of you that haven't tuned into the Trae Tunes show. But those are the safe shows. Yeah. It's when you go live at night. Yeah. And then it's like, sometimes I'll have to go because I got to get to bed like a normal person. And will be on until like 3 a.m. And if I pop back in because I got to use the bathroom or something like that, and I see you guys are still live, I know you've officially entered the danger zone.
Yes. Right.
Nothing good ever happens after midnight, as they say, and that certainly applies for the Trae Tunes show.
Yeah. Oh, it gets so crazy. It's like I almost I think I need to get a whole separate computer and have my show on there just to get the clips, because it's like that's one thing I want to do more of, just getting the clips from the show, because I'm like, man, one time I went back and watched one of my shows over again just to look for one particular moment, but then the whole show I'm like, oh my God, I forgot all about that. I forgot all about this, because everything happens is so spontaneous that you laugh at it and then you on to the next thing, laugh at that, on to the next thing.
Well, the other thing you could do is earmark the time stamp.
Oh, you can.
When a spark hits off, like I don't know how it is when you're live on Twitch, but like if you look at the top left of our screen, we can see we're at the 53-minute mark of the show. So if there's something that sparks your interest, you can write down your timestamp and then go back later and cut the tape. So
that's true. Yeah,
that's one way of doing it.
Right.
Least.
Yeah.
We could get a lot of will drops.
Oh, yeah.
We could get a lot of will drops. I got a basement too. I'm in it right now. I've got a sunroom and a basement. But with freaking Will, I mean, this is we got to start calling this guy. I know we got Big Dollar Dave. We got to start calling this guy Big Money Will. I mean, This guy, he's driving. You saw him the other day on Twitter. I should have pulled up the picture because he put it on Twitter. He's driving in his Benz and he's parked in the handicap spot. He said he put just joking on the caption, and then yesterday he's out on the boat, It's just, it's one thing after another. I need Will to bring me into his life, adopt me or something. I need this in-ground pool. I need this pool.
He's always like, it's my friend's boat. Oh, my friend. Like you, Yeah, they're your friends because you're all loaded. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, come on, share the love here. Send me a boat, Will. You got that money. Yeah, I got, we're doing all right over. Okay, it was a joke. He's talking about the handicap spot. I should have pulled the picture up. It's on Twitter.
Yeah.
We could try the shared screen and put him on blast. Right. But he we'll see. You just never know what is a joke and what isn't a joke with Will. You just never know.
Right.
But yeah, Big Willie is always flexing on him. And so we're about 9 minutes away from our guy, Marc Silverman from ESPN1000 joining us. And I promise I will let Trae drive the whole interview. Trae, if you want to drive the whole interview, I didn't have any questions prepared for Jeff. Right. I just knew I had some fantasy thoughts I wanted to get out. And I don't have any questions prepared. I got one thing in particular, and we'll get into it when he comes on.
Okay.
That I do have set up for Sylvie that I want to grill him about. But other than that, I don't have anything. If you want to talk to, you want to drive the whole interview, I want you to be able to drive the whole interview. So when he comes on, we'll tell him the Trae Tunes is taking the wheel, and I'll just sit back and let it flow. I can do this, Pat Black. I can do this. I can not talk. I promise. Trae, I was on the phone yesterday with Trae and Ghost Rider.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. Tell this.
And I didn't talk for like 25 minutes. They were like talking about different gambling thoughts for the day. Ghost Rider's a big gambler, so he was giving his tips to Trae. And at one point, they were like, Braggs, are you still there? And I was like, yeah, I'm here. I didn't talk for like 25 minutes, Trae. These people would never believe it.
But what's funny is like, because Ghost, he'll overtalk you too. So it's so funny. Yesterday, y'all both do the same thing. It's like, and y'all both like literally talking a whole full sentence at the same time. And I was like, are they both literally saying? I mean, they don't hear each other talking two at a time, right? Right, yeah, like a whole full sentence that, like full, like not. I mean, like good 30 words, and they're both talking at the same. It was hilarious. I was just like, I was cracking up. Like I put the phone away. I was like, oh my God! I come back and they're both still talking. I thought it was so
Ghost
funny.
Is in the chat saying, "I got no phone manners." We all know that. I didn't talk. I was listening the whole time yesterday. I didn't talk at all. There's no way. I can't believe I'm not getting the credit where credit is due. I was quiet for that whole phone conversation yesterday. I'm getting no credit for it. Chubb says I'm the same guy that kicks little kids out of the way at training camp, so I can be in an Instagram video. Listen, that kid won't appreciate being in the video like I will. Okay, so he can just get out the way. As Michael Jordan once said, fuck them kids, Right. I can't help myself sometimes. I like the spotlight. I can't help it.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know if I, leave too many pauses in between when I talk, because I mean, it's not like it's just you or a Ghost that I get cut off all the time, and I'm like, I don't know, is my voice just welcoming in? it's
like in Waterboy when he's looking for that guy to kick the onside kick to. He's like, "Where's my bitch? Where's my bitch?" He's like,
right. And I'm like, I mean, like all through life, this is something I just had to deal with, and I don't know. Even at home with my mom, like I grew up in a house full of women, so it's like I just learned to shut up. And it's like my two older sisters and my mom. Like, so how much am I really going to get in? And shout out to my mom who was in the chat earlier. She said hi, mom.
Shout out, Mama Tunes.
Right, Mama Tunes. Yeah. So it's like I just learned to shut up.
Notes. There were actual fantasy questions for Muller. You missed the first half of the interview, and Trae had questions. He asked about tight ends. So you'll have to go back and watch, okay?
Right.
I can't control it. You're late. You're late to the party.
Yeah, I did have one last question, but it's like he gave some long answers, so I didn't want to keep
well,
him
that's
on.
what happens. And Sylvie's going to come on here in just a few minutes, 5 minutes away from Marc Silverman coming on. And, I asked him, he asked how long, the interview would be. And I said, well, we'll keep it short. I always try to respect my guest time so that they'll want to come back on for another show. Sometimes if you drag an interview out too long, they'll get off a certain guest and they'll be like, I don't ever want to go on that podcast again. These guys work Monday through Friday doing this every day. This is their time to relax. So, and I do shows during the week as well. And sometimes I always try. That's the one nice thing about the way I do my show. Like Meller said, his best time slot was from 9:10 to 9:30. So that's what time we started. I always try to make sure the time works best for my guests because I try not to inconvenience my guests as best I can. But that's why you want to keep it short. You want to be able to keep it short so that they want to be able to come back on for another interview in the future. So Sylvie says, let's try to keep it to 15. No problem. But then what happens? He'll talk. He'll be the one answering, like Meller. He'll talk, 5-minute answer for a question. And, you got like 5 or 6 to 10 questions prepared, if you're prepared in that way. And, I know Sylvie well enough to where I don't have to feel like I have to have all these questions prepared maybe like when we had Mark Potash on. But, it's always going to go over. I know Pat Black, we set the over-under at 15 minutes because that's what Sylvie asked for. But it's going to go over, and it's not going to be my fault. So let's just get that out of the way now. It's not my fault if it goes over 15 minutes. If anybody's fault, it's Will's fault. Because we can just blame Will for everything. So we will invite you on, Van Helsing. All calls are welcome, as Chris Black and Adam Abdallah have trademarked. But we will bring on anybody that wants to come on. We have the fantasy draft coming up at 11 a.m. And if there's somebody that wants to come on while we're drafting, you can come on. It's going to be a little bit of a juggling act. I'm sure I'm going to butcher my fantasy team while we're trying to do this live. But that's okay. It's good practice. I got another I kind of insulted Trae with his fantasy league because I said this is my practice run for the league that I've been doing for like 15 years, my personal league with my friends. So I called it my practice run. He goes, oh, okay. The Trae Tunes shows the practice. But it is. It's, because I'll also be live for that on Tuesday night for my personal league, which we call the Last Second League. And yes, we are going to hand out the participation trophies for everybody that's been in this league. So and I'm excited for Will to see the team name that I've chosen for my team, but we're not going to spoil it now. He's got to stay tuned in. And if he doesn't stay tuned in, then he'll never know what the team name is.
Right. And for somebody that talks as much crap as Will does about knowing and being real about stuff, and I know he's probably going to use the fact that he's so busy that he couldn't join the
too busy on his boat.
Right. Yeah, he's like, he's probably like, I would have loved to see the players that he drafted. And because, everything he says is like, oh, I'm just a realist and these are just the facts and all this stuff. So, he just like knows the outcome of everything. But deep down inside, I know he just doesn't want his heart broken. I'm like,
yep.
Yeah,
it's a defense mechanism.
Exactly.
You nailed it on the head.
Right. Root for your team, man. Like, you just can't just say, oh, yeah, we're going to suck and we're going to lose. Like, no, root for your team to win and be hopeful.
Yeah. He said he wasn't watching the Bears this year, so we don't even have to worry about his input. He said he wasn't watching the Bears this year. So
Will says a lot of things.
Will's a man of his word, so
is he?
Why don't you know me? I love the horn that you do on the Trae Tunes show. This is your trademark, but we got to get that's for all of you. Normally, I like my own personal horn.
There you go, Braggs.
A little more horn. Yeah, I love the horn. I love me some horn. But that's a shout out to all of you guys live in the Twitch chat and chats if you're watching it off Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. We're streaming across 4 platforms. We're on Trae's Facebook group. We're on my Facebook group. We're all over the place. So if you can't find us, you're actively trying not to find us at this point.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. We're streaming everywhere.
How can I listen? Well, and then you'll always have the people like, why don't you convert these to audio? Because I don't want to. How does that sound? I'm too busy. I'm like Will.
Right, yeah, like with the clips, like as much as I would love to take those notes and go back, it's like literally, especially now that school's back, like as soon as my show's over, I'm going to the car to pick my son up from school,
right?
And that's 2 hours in traffic. It's not like each way, so I got to go like pretty much downtown in traffic to get him from school and back. So and then when I get back, it's like a few hours before I have to DJ somewhere. So
these jackals, they think that we're just here to entertain all day, especially you, Trae. Like I've only done a couple shows here in the last month. I do it at my own leisure. Even I do. I demand entertainment from you. When you're not doing a show, I yell unacceptable. I'll be calling you.
Unacceptable.
I'll be texting you, yelling at you. Like I depend on your entertainment at my lunch hour. I depend on your entertainment, on a Friday night. You're the one that's gotta, wrangle the circus in and deal with Will. To our entertainer. Yeah, exactly. Entertain us.
Right.
Make me a bicycle clown.
Right. I can't really make a bicycle.
Make a bicycle clown.
You're like, I'm not a clown. I don't have any. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was weird seeing Vince Vaughn in that. The last movie I think he did was called Freaky, where he's a murderer or something. And he's not most of the movie. Well, it's not like a spoiler alert, of course it's a play on Freaky Friday, where, they switch bodies or something like that. And it's like so funny seeing him on there play that role. But, Vince Vaughn is hilarious.
100%. And what's up, Thunder Buddy Berlissimo? Appreciate you joining us. Another guy joining us is that obviously needs no introduction, a great friend of ours. From the ESPN1000 club, and this guy, always busting my chops.
Come on. I mean, let's keep this run going. If we're right there, go for it.
Garrett, I think we're going to rent an apartment together.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Come on over to St. John.
As long as Braggs
only a couple miles away.
As long as Braggs doesn't show up, all right?
But see, this is look, and
Thanks,
I appreciate Garrett.
Most Braggs, you come to St. John, you don't want to be around me.
Of course I do, but it wouldn't be fun if I didn't bust your balls.
All right.
What's up?
Here's my youngest, Braxton.
All right.
What's up, Braxton?
Hey, Braxton.
We're talking.
Go Bears.
Say go Bears.
Go Bears.
All right.
All right, Sylvie. So we were talking before you came on, and we were just talking about, me and Trae done some of these crossover shows. And me, I'm no shortage of words, always talking. I can fill up the hours on the radio airwaves. So I'm going to let Trae, I'm going to sit back. I do have one prepared question for you, but I'm going to let Trae take it away because you guys obviously have a lot of history now. You guys did your show the other day on the live remote, which was a fantastic moment. I love seeing Trae up there.
Just look at me smiling. That's what this is all going to be. Just look at that big smile. I'm just so happy. I was so happy that day. That was awesome. What an awesome day that was. They're like, hey, you want to come over? I'm like, you want me? Me? I was like, wow. It was like a dream come true.
The fun of what we do, right? I mean, you built community over several years is, you're able to bust a Greg Braggs' balls because he talks so much. He doesn't shut up. And Trae Tunes is this lovable, huggable guy who has provided us all this content with his songs and everything like that. And, you were with us, Trae, on 2 memorable days too, and Braggs, you were there too. But like that show that we did, I think it was in Oak Forest at Oak Forest Bowl. I mean, I'll always remember that. That's the day that the Cubs sold everybody.
Yeah.
And then Trae, you were up to do the live version of the Crosstalk Unhinged, which was awesome. Fantasy football convention. So like, it's great to have you guys. You guys are a part of the family and a part of the show.
Well, it definitely does feel good. And, especially I've been listening to you guys for so long, and it's like I always get shy and nervous when I call in and stuff, and you don't know what to say, and you like fumble over your words and stuff like that. It was so funny. Like I don't know if you remember. You probably don't remember the first time we actually met was at Bar Louie's when you did a remote. And this was like I think 2016, like right after the Cubs won, and I was like in the full Cubs like gear and stuff. I think I have the picture somewhere on Twitter, but I was so happy there. It's just and like the first time, like when you meet somebody in person and you hear their voice, it's like, oh man, it's so crazy. It's like seeing you, but then actually hearing your voice live. It's like I can't. It's almost like the same each time I get to meet you. And it's just an honor, man. I've been a fan of you for so long, and yeah, just hopefully I just love like to bring and be creative and make things up, and like with the parody songs and for the show, and I just try to provide as much as I can, and I'm very happy to do so.
And you do. And I do remember that after the show, it was like at night, and it was like right downtown in River North at Bar Louie's. Yep. Wasn't it downtown location? And we may have even had snow that day, because I remember like it wasn't that big of a crowd, and basically everybody who came won something. So you get something. So it was fun. I remember, of course, Trae.
Right, yeah, I got I have it somewhere, the large Waddle and Sylvie t-shirt that, I never got to wear, of course, because can't quite fit a large. But yeah, it's like the swag bag was full. Yeah, and I still had that bottle opener. Was so funny because I had the bottle opener on my keychain that day. And then out of Oak Forest, I was like, all right, I get a new one. Like ESPN was totally faded off the old one. And I said, so now I had a fresh one. I still had that same one from that remote.
Because you're opening so many bottles, man.
Right. Yeah. Pop them open. Right.
Well, we might be popping a few bottles next Friday. Trae was telling me, I was in Vegas for the last, for the fantasy football convention, which I was sad to miss, but Friday's your birthday coming up, Trae was telling me, and you guys are going to do a little meet and greet on Friday, correct?
Yeah, we're going to be at in Mokina at JMO's Live. And I've always said to myself, building up to this number 50 birthday, I go, where out of all places can I be to celebrate my 50th birthday? And I really did narrow it down between Mokina and New Lenox. And I'm glad that it was Mokina, and I'm glad it's JMO's Live. So, and I think it's their 2-year anniversary for this as well. So it's my 50th. Is the actual birthday is September 10th. I'm going out with my wife September 9th. So I will probably be hungover. But
hey, well, we're looking forward to coming and celebrating it. And let's get right into it. I said Trae can steer it as much as he wants. But, we got to start out with Justin Fields. We were talking a little bit on Twitter yesterday about it because I've been giving my thoughts. Obviously, a lot of Bears fans and media alike are upset, with Matt Nagy not having the, fortitude here to just start the kid. And I understand there's some, I understand his hesitation and his plan and all that stuff. We went through this with Mitch and Mike Glennon, and now this is a totally different scale of this discussion. I felt like I was the only one that didn't want the veteran to start back then. Now all of Bears Nation wants Justin Fields to start. Can you make any sense of this? Because as the Bears blog pointed out today, he's got him as the backup. So if Andy Dalton rolls his ankle in warmups, then he's starting. So you're telling me he can start under those circumstances, right, but you don't want him to start just out the gate and get him the reps that he needs. He's the future of this franchise. Can you make any sense of what Matt Nagy's trying to do here.
Look, Braggs, I was fine if they elected to say he's not ready. I don't want Justin Fields to play just because Justin Fields gives the Bears a best chance to win. If they feel like this could hurt his progress in the big picture, I'm good with it. But that's not what they did. The process of getting here is what I get so pissed off about. And it's the same process that they used, which was a flawed process to draft Mitch, where they didn't interview Deshaun Watson and they didn't work out Deshaun Watson. And again, if they would have handled the process right and they would have picked Mitch, I'm like, okay, fine. Not every process is going to work out in the end with the right result, but at least let's get there with the right process. And I just don't understand how Bill Belichick, how Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds in the league, can have open competitions and go through the process where you're allowing a Trey Lance to win, where you're allowing a Mac Jones to win. And the Bears just say, we're simply not allowing him to win because of Patrick Mahomes. And you're not Andy Reid, Matt Nagy. You've already illustrated that with your offenses, with your bad plans with Mitch, with your bad plans for Nick Foles, with your bad plans with the kickers, with your low offenses. I don't trust them. And it's, again, why I'm pissed off about how we got here and why I was so mad in July when I went on that Matt Nagy press conference. And I'm like, so you're telling me, Matt, there's nothing Justin Fields can do to win the job? And he says, yes, that's what I'm telling you. And that's what pissed me off because you're not even open to it. And you bring up a good point, Braggs, is wait a minute. You're telling us he's not ready to play, but he is ready to play if Andy Dalton gets hurt. You're either ready or you're not. So by that logic, Nick Foles should come in. It's just stupid. And it's another reason why I don't trust what this Bears coaching staff.
It's almost like it's his pride, right? He said it, and the fans and the media are pressuring him, and he's like, "Nope, I'm not going to do it just because you guys all want me to. I'm going to stick to my guns." And it's frustrating. So we all kind of got to swallow this pill here for week one and see how it goes. And it's almost the same thing.
Swallow it. I'm not swallowing it.
We got no choice. He's jamming it down our throats, and it's like,
Trey. 2 at a time, Bragg.
2 at a time. Right. Word salad 2 at a time. Like, just take it.
It's tough because, I was like back when I was all about playing Mitch over Mike. I was rooting against the Bears because I just wanted Mike Glennon to lose because I felt like the more he lost, the better chance we'd get the kid in. And it's the exact same situation again, almost tenfold, even more because of the talent that Justin Fields and the IQ level and the pedigree that he comes from with the college that he played at, national championships and the whole deal. So, the other thing I brought up, and then I'm going to let Trey take it away, the Twitch chat, I guarantee is busting my balls for not, but I have to get this in, is do you believe in my prediction that at least he's going to give Justin Fields some snaps week one? He's earned it in my eyes. He's admitted that Justin Fields is more ready than he thought. So if that's the case and you have this plan of bringing him along slowly, shouldn't that be with at least a series or a package of plays in the red zone where Justin Fields can help give this team a different look on Sundays?
Trey, I love this, that like Braggs is saying, oh, my plan or my idea. Like, I've been saying this on the show for weeks and weeks and weeks. Maybe Braggs has been on too many Las Vegas trips, and he's missed all these segments where he brought up the Waddle. That I'm not asking for them to do a Cade McNown. For those who don't remember, when Cade McNown was a rookie, they would play him the third series of every game. So regardless on how the first 2 series would go with Shane Matthews or whoever was playing, they would give Cade McNown the third series. And regardless on how Cade would do in that third series, he would go out for the 4th series. So if they would go 3 and out, he would sit the next series. Or if they went on a 10-play scoring drive, he would still sit. I'm not asking for that. I believe that Justin Fields' skill set gives them a competitive advantage against their opponents in certain situations where it's the red zone, where it could be a specific play. It's not a gadget play. I'm not asking them to run a gadget play like they did with Santa Slay on the goal line. I'm just saying, with how good Justin Fields has done in the red zone, with his ability to run the football, with his ability to pass, with him just game planning that and getting experience, I believe it's win, win, win. And I believe that if Justin Fields does not play in that first game in any scenario, it's just another example on the incompetence of the offensive staff that the Bears have assembled.
1,000%. Now go ahead, Trae. Take it away. I will literally go backstage and I will not.
Bullshit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I totally agree with you as far as Nagy goes, and he said he's not an idiot, but it's apparent. Like, I mean, like with your take the other day about when you said just like, do you trust Nagy, and has he shown you like any plan that would give you confidence and believing in any type of decision that he makes towards the future? And it really doesn't, and it's sad because it's like I want him to be good. You initially liked him when he came in. We had a winning record, that coach of the year, and then he just does all these idiotic things. It's like it's mind-boggling. Like from time to time, just to see the decisions that they make, and it's like, right, if you don't see Justin Fields like on the field at all, but you almost don't trust him to make any decisions anyway, because the whole play calling process, it almost makes no sense in a way. It's like he's just randomly picking plays out of a hat and stuff sometimes, and it's sad because I want to believe it's like, yeah, you want your team to be good, but it's like they constantly give you a reason to doubt them.
Well, and that's another great point, is like, we need Justin Fields to be so good that he rises above Matt Nagy, and he's better than even Matt Nagy. And like, I think this is what I brought up the other day, and I'm not saying that Nick Foles is as good as Justin Fields or is great, but we know that in the right situation, Nick Foles can do stuff. Like, it wasn't just one heater. I heard Carmen DeFalco say the other day, like, well, Nick Foles got on a heater in the Super Bowl, and that's why he won. It wasn't just one heater. Remember, he led them to the playoffs the next year. He beat the Bears on that final drive, went 60 yards in that next year in 2018, that he went to a Pro Bowl under Chip Kelly. It wasn't just one time. He hasn't been consistent, but he has shown that in the right situation, he could be okay at least. And Matt Nagy, even though he knew Nick Foles, even though he traded for Nick Foles, even though he's been with Nick Foles before, still had issues seeing eye to eye with Nick Foles. Nick Foles told the Monday Night Football crew this. Nick Foles, you saw him on the field say, hey, we've just completed a bunch of passes in a row. Let's go. Why are you slowing us down? It's like, Justin Fields has to be so good to overcome Matt Nagy. And that's another reason why I'm scared, because not only does he overcome Matt Nagy, he may have to overcome this offensive line as well, which the two tackles are going to be unproven, and a 39-year-old who's had no camp, and then a Fetty who's been out so long and was basically a right tackle reject from Seattle. So, Trae, that's a long way of saying I'm fucking nervous too. I could swear on this, right?
Absolutely. We can swear on this.
Yeah.
This is like home here. We're just hanging out between us friends. Trying not to take too much of your time, but you're taking my next question and you're setting it up perfectly, because I do got a bone to pick, of course, with my two kids from Liberty. Let's go! Because when I was in Vegas and watching the game poolside, watching one Mitchell Trubisky dice up the Chicago Bears, albeit I didn't take the low-hanging fruit and pound my chest like some of the truthers did on Twitter, but I did find it curious to watch him. And now some of the sentiments you're saying right now, how hard it's going to be for Justin Fields to overcome Matt Nagy. And we saw my guy, Christopher Black, and Pat Black, his dad, is here in the chat, a loyal listener to what me and Trae Tunes do. And I see him doing his truther bit, the X-Files gif and everything else. But then he slid in a retweet of Warren Sharp saying, preseason aside, What you are watching is Mitch Trubisky with a real play caller. Dabble runs circles around Matt Nagy. And as you can see at the top, Chris Black retweeted it.
Right.
Dude, our truthers owed an apology because these are some of the things that I would say on your airwaves. I'd try to say them to Mitchell and Displays. I'd try to say them to Black and Abdallah, and I'd get mocked for it as an excuse maker, a fluffer for Mitch Trubisky, a ball washer. But now now that Mitch Trubisky is out of the fold, now the offensive line is the problem. Now the coach is on the focus, and all the things that truthers tried to point out. And again, I will preface it by saying I'm not excusing the lack of talent that Mitch Trubisky had. More so the fact that it is a team sport. And if Dabble can get the most out of a Mitch Trubisky by being a better play caller, then isn't those the excuses that were warranted for truthers? And is someone like Chris Pleck, should he owe truthers an apology if he's going to start trotting out these excuses now, with hindsight being 2020?
See, you're only hearing, though, what you want to hear. Like, we said this stuff last year, too. Like, I was killing Nagy. Nagy didn't do anything to make Mitch better, but that doesn't make Mitch good. Like, and I want to just, it's semantics, but what you said about Mitch not being talented enough, it's what Waddle has always said. Mitch is talented. Mitch has a good arm. Mitch is a great athlete. It's just, there's a couple of things right between here. Mitch doesn't process well. He's not fast. And Mitch is an athlete playing quarterback instead of a quarterback who's a good athlete. And I think Justin Fields, we know, is a quarterback who's this fantastic athlete, but he's been bred to be this quarterback every step of the way. And he processes the information and he can quickly. And I think that was always Mitch's problem. But to your point, and we've always said this, though, Braggs, is that Mitch, it's like, I had a buddy over for the Denver game a couple of years ago. Remember the game where they won on a last-second field goal?
Yeah.
In 19. We're all excited. Bears 100. I got the Bears 100 hat on, and we're all excited, and they sucked against Green Bay. They only produced, I think, 3 points in that opener.
Yep.
Okay. And then I had a buddy sitting next to me saying, why isn't Mitch running the ball? Why isn't he running anymore? Why isn't he taking off like we used to see? Because Nagy was trying to make him be a quarterback. And then when we found out then that Mitch couldn't be that quarterback, he couldn't play just from the pocket. He couldn't process enough and couldn't find Allen Robinson when he was breaking free. Nagy never did the things that Mitch did well and said, hey, take off when you pick up a first down. He wanted him to be the Kansas City style quarterback. And the problem is Mitch was never that. And Nagy never did anything to make him better. Nagy never did anything to make Nick Foles good again.
Right.
Like, again, with this Nick Foles issue, and I've been going back and forth with Dan Weeder about this. No one has uncovered why it didn't work with Nick Foles. Remember this, when they acquired Nick Foles and when they gave up a 4th-round pick for Nick Foles, he sucked with Jacksonville.
Right.
It wasn't like they were buying this quarterback where he was coming off a good year. They saw again he wasn't good as a starter. Wasn't good as a starter in St. Louis, in LA. Wasn't good as a starter with Philly. But what did they say? We can fix him. We can fix him. What did Matt Nagy do to fix him? Absolutely fucking nothing. The same thing with Mitch Trubisky.
Well, and you know what it is, though. To me, it's the Mike Martz syndrome. Mike Martz comes in and he tries to run the Rams offense without the Rams parts. And Matt Nagy has that same issue. He's trying to run the Chiefs offense without the Chiefs parts. And, we got Liam Dutan, as he's known in the Twitch chats, loyal P1er, saying Greg Trubisky Bragg. I didn't bring him up to pound my chest more about Mitch. I'm done with Mitch. I am so glad they moved on at the proper time from him. I thought the Nick Foles thing was a mistake. I said that last year. I thought they should have just stuck it out with him. But I'm glad they moved on and got Justin Fields. Obviously, he's a higher pedigree of talent. My point is, and this is what we're talking about, is the excuses. They're not excuses when I say Matt Nagy doesn't get the most out of his team, or that the offensive line can't block, whether it be run or pass, and that affects what the quarterback can or can't do.
Of course,
So,
Braggs, it's not just the quarterback either. And I don't know why I keep leaning forward when I want to make a point. I'm excited, you could hear me better. I don't know. I always bring up Mike Davis. I think Mike Davis is an example because I think it was Matt Nagy who said, and it's not just Ryan Pace making the personnel moves. They've been, as they've told us, collaborating. And Matt Nagy has wanted his style of players. So they say we can't win with Jordan Howard. We need a different type of running back with this offense, like a Kareem Hunt. So they go out and they draft David Montgomery, who he doesn't give the ball to basically in his entire first year. And then they go out and they sign Mike Davis because they say he fits. And they got this run DMC thing going with Cohn and Davis and Montgomery. And what happens? They don't give the ball to Mike Davis at all. He rots on the bench. And then they cut him.
And he was great for the Panthers.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he goes with a guy who knows how to call plays in Carolina, and that team's a lot worse. He's filling in for Christian McCaffrey. And does he show that he could run and catch and put up numbers? The answer is absolutely yes. And it's another reason why Matt Nagy can't get the best out of his team.
Right. Completely agree. And Will wants to know, is Trae still there? Because I know I'm going to get completely grilled. I even hopped out of the chat a few times. And Pat Black always sets the over-under when I call into Trae Tunes show, as far as 50, 30 minutes to an hour of how long Greg's going to talk. And
you're right at 50.
We set the over-under for your interview at 15, and I know we've pounded the over. We are way over it, Sylvie, and we apologize, and we appreciate all the time you give us today. Trae, do you have any final questions for Mr. Marc Silverman before we cut him loose and let him go back to his beautiful life with his beautiful family?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up, on the Carmen and Yurko show the other day, they replayed your interview with when you were on the Zoom and asked Matt Nagy the question about the promise. And his answer was it was dumb the first time you heard it, but when you hear it again, it's oh my God. He was like, no, we didn't promise him. You promised that work could get tricky, but I did tell him that he will be the starter. It's it's right. I'm like, what? And it's when you hear it again, it's and then you kind of reiterate and you ask, so there's no chance he can start. And when he says no, it's so deflating. You're like, what are you doing? and then you see what Belichick does with Mac Jones, and it's come on, man. And just another thing I know you were just on vacation in Arizona, and you had your situation with the waiter. I totally would have done the same thing. Right. Shoot. And then with that same arm, you're going to serve my food. I was I was trying to call in, but I was I would have done exactly. And it's so funny because that thought comes in my mind every time, that Road Trip movie, what he did with the French toast and the powdered sugar. Yeah. When you said that, I was cracking up. I think the same thing. I said, I'll never send my food back.
Road Trip is, if you haven't seen it, and it's old now, but Road Trip is one of those movies that I just absolutely loved, that I don't think still gets the play of an American Pie or something about Mary or something like that. But Road Trip is fucking funny. And if you haven't watched it, there's a watch for it at the end. And then Trae, the other thing is I know Braggs' style. I know what Braggs is going to do. Braggs is going to let you start things off, and then all of a sudden Braggs is and he's going to talk my fucking ear off. And when I ask him, how long are these things going to be? I've got maybe 20 or 25 minutes, and then I got to go with the kids, and then I got to get in a workout before we head to the pool. But I say 15 minutes, he's 15 to 20. I go, keep it closer to 15, because I know if I say, okay, 20 is cool,
it'll be 30.
30. It almost is now anyway. So
this is not my fault. It's not my fault. I take no responsibility for it.
That it replaced that Braggs in the stands poster in the back and put a fucking clock up.
Oh boy. Well, hey, we had a lot of questions in the chat, and they're all busting my balls, but we're not getting to them. They want to know if you're ever going to get a
do really quick hitting.
They want to know if you're all right. Rapid fire. Are you ever going to get a barber? Will wants to know. You ever going to get a barber and let your wife stop cutting your hair? If your wife cuts your hair, she doesn't do a bad job. I see you've been slicking it up lately. I don't know if Chris Black is rubbing off on you with the good hair days or what, but it's looking good over there.
No, I can't compete with Black's hair. I mean, that's not even something I shoot for. It's I look, it's cheap and it takes 5 minutes, you know, like she literally uses the Manscaped, the lawnmower 3.0. She shaves my sides all the way up. And yes, even though she screwed it up, I'm going to give her another chance to see how bad she screws it up again.
Okay. And the other question we had was, we had Jeff Meller on earlier giving us fantasy football advice, and there was some ball busting about him not paying up. And he had a pretty long-winded reasoning for it. Do you have any responses to one, Jeff Meller?
He's the commissioner again, okay? If you're going to commish, you got to collect the money. And if people don't pay, you got to tell them to pay. And he never sent out an email to tell people to pay. And he finally got to 2021. He finally took out a Venmo account. And guess what, guys? We had like 10 or 11 of the 12 participants pay before the draft even started. I mean, it's so easy when you Venmo it or where you electronically pay. And then you've got, again, like it was a year ago now when I came out of my last chemo and I still fucking paid him. So I don't want to hear like the COVID excuse that, oh, well, we were all separated. I still paid him coming out of the chemo, my last chemo treatment. So damn it, he was wrong. You got to pay everybody off. And now everyone is paid for this year. So he pays me like a month ago, $430 some, and I'm giving him $200 back a month later for the entry fee.
100%. It's not easy being the commish, as anyone knows that runs a league. I run one, and it's not easy, but you got to get it done. If you take the responsibility, you got to get it done. And I know it was your 1 year anniversary here. Sylvie Strong. We've seen that a few times in the chat. I actually have a good friend now. His son, Shane Marsaw, his son Riley, just got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphocyte, I'm going to butcher the name, but he's now starting his journey. And, we're really happy that you were able to get through it and you look so great and healthy. Certainly, man, not to, end it on a somber note, but I am happy to see how healthy you are. Now we're all here rooting for our guy, Riley. We moved from Sylvie Strong to Riley Strong, and, congratulations to you on making it through your journey and looking as healthy and happy as you are, my friend.
Tell Shane and his family that we're all here for him. Tell Riley that we're all cheering him on, and that just like with me, we're going to be cheering for him when he beats it as well. So
100%.
All the best to the family.
Yeah, those guys do great work, Shane and Phil over at the Tape Never Lies Network, and we're always going to give our shout outs to Riley here. Final request, Final request, Sylvie, is that you've always done station IDs for me. I would like you to do one for Trae and his Trae Tunes Twitch show. As you mentioned before, Trae's a great contributor to some of the content you guys are putting out. With your unedited, uncensored, podcast, which you guys do a great job with. And so I know Trae, he's too shy to ask, so I'm going to ask, since we're way over the 15 minutes.
So for the Trae Tunes show,
yes. So basically, you'll just say, this is Marc Silverman from ESPN1000, and you're listening to the Trae Tunes show. So I'm gonna go backstage.
Braggs, I love that. Right. There was 3, 2.
Hold on. I'll count you down. Hold on now. I'll count you down. I gotta get your nameplate up, make it look professional, and then I gotta mute my mic. And I'm gonna mute Trace too, so there's nothing, no background in it. All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, this is Sylvie from Waddle and Sylvie on ESPN1000, and I'm busy right now. What am I busy with? I am listening and watching the Trae Tunes show. I gave him a t-shirt. It was a large. He doesn't fit in it, but we love him because he's the absolute best. So sit back and enjoy the Trae Tunes show.
Boom. Look at that. One take, and he even ad-libs. How about that? I was giving him pointers. He doesn't need pointers. He's a professional.
Right.
And Sylvie, we'll let you get back to your beautiful family on this Sunday afternoon. Now that we've reached Sunday afternoon, you started on Sunday morning.
Right.
Notre Dame football tonight. Lots of more college football on the scene. Trae, you got any final thoughts for him before we cut old buddy loose?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, when you told that story with Meller on that crosstalk Unhinged and about how you were at your last chemo treatment, and then you guys broke out into that song, all the pubes are gone. That was one of my favorite moments. And I know you didn't get a chance to play it, but I did email you. I didn't even play it for anybody on our show. But yeah, like
I have it too. So it's in my email. All the pubes are gone, balls are clean.
Right.
I forget what it is, but yeah. And Trae, with Labor Day, it's time to grill. And you know what I'm going to be grilling either today or tomorrow? I'm going to be grilling corn dogs 2 at a time.
2 at a time.
2 at a time. All right.
All right, Sylvie. Get back to your beautiful family. Thank you for all of your time. Maybe Matt Nagy will wisen up and later down the road, we'll bring you back and we'll bullshit about that. So go Bears. 1 week till Chicago Bears football. Yes, sir. Bear down. We'll see you on Friday for your birthday, my friend.
All right, boys. See you. Thank you.
That is Marc Silverman from ESPN 1000.
Awesome.
I did my best, Trae.
Yeah, you tried.
I tried. I tried not to talk. And I tried to keep it to 15 minutes, and I failed miserably at both.
Right, yeah, it's okay. I mean, you're going, like, when you're telling me, I'm going to go in the background, and I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, you, like, went in the background while he answered the question, and you hop right back in, like, wait, I know I said I was going to be in the background, but this was a great segue to my, I mean, it was. So, like I did tell you just to be yourself, you know. At least you say, hey, Trae, you have anything you want? At least
I try to set you up, man. I try to set you up. Right. I don't want to just like, you know, you know, right? If you don't feel the set, like, well, that's the things that we got to work on when we do these crossovers, is just knowing when I'm ending and then you can go. Because, like, I get nervous. I don't want to just, throw you under the bus and just stop talking. And then you're just sitting here, you know, with that beautiful smile of yours. Like, what's going on? Like, what do we do next? You know, and, you know, it's just about.
Yeah, I prepared. So I had some little notes over here. I was like, okay. I said the Arizona waiter. I said the 50th birthday, but you had covered it already. So I said the movie Road Trip, you know, pertaining to. I like jot my little notes, so I got to get better with that. And, you know, this is a whole learning experience.
And me and you really do, because you're so busy. I'm so busy. We both got families, and you got work all day, every day. I'm laying bricks. I'm doing all sorts of stuff. We got to talk before the interviews and have some prepared questions. And that way I know, and then I don't have to worry about just throwing you, you know, out without a life raft into the ocean, you know. And so, you know, I'm just trying to keep the train on the tracks. You know, I let you have the start, and you know, everybody was, you know, calling you, you were Farley fanboying them. And I was just trying, you know, I had to hop back in so we could get it into the Justin Fields tracks.
Right.
You know, and at that point we were already like halfway through the 15 minutes. So like I said, this isn't my fault. This isn't my fault.
I thought it went very well though, for us not to have any like, you know, it's not like we both said, okay, we're gonna do this and that. For us not to have that with either one of them, you know, I thought they both went well with Melon and
we're
Sylvia.
Doing our best over here. You know, we got Will, the toughest critic. He's yelling at me because I'm not asking the questions from the chat. I like to save the chat questions for the end of the interview, you know, to keep it organized, unless somebody has a question that works within. It's a good segue, as they say in the business. And if it's something where he just brought something up and somebody has a question that works with it, I'll try to fit it in through the flow of it. But, you know, it's not easy, you know, and I want you to feel comfortable pulling up comments, because, you know, it's hard for me when we do these shows to, you know, I'm changing the cameras. I'm pulling up the, these things we call them nameplates. My good friend and co-host to the show and producer, he makes these nameplates that we pull up here. make it look professional. But I have to pull these up. They don't just appear magically. And then, and when he's talking, I try to pull up pictures. Like we mentioned, Deion Miller joining the ESPN 1000 ESPN 1000 team. And then I got, fun pictures of in the stands stuff. And, I don't have time to pull up all this stuff. And then we got videos, we've got able to give you a bird's eye view of what happens. And when Sylvie's talking about things, so it's a juggling act, Will. I know you think you can do it, but pulling up the videos, pulling up the pictures, the comments, the nameplates, changing the cameras. This isn't easy over here, ladies and gentlemen. And me and Trae are doing it here, and I'm trying to produce as best I can. But Trae, I want you to start feeling comfortable, at least enough to pull up comments. I know you're good at you're familiar enough with the Twitch chat that you can pull up comments. Just saying I'm whining. I'm not whining. I'm trying to explain things. And Trae,
he's got mad
chat.
clicking skills, son. Right?
Yeah, it's not easy over here, all right? And so I'm just trying to, and I want you to feel comfortable pulling up whatever you want. And then once you get comfortable pulling up the Twitch chat, then you can start delving into the pictures and the videos. And when we're talking, if you feel like something works, because I have everything labeled. So, if somebody brings up something and you want to pull up the video to align with the conversation, I want you to feel comfortable doing that. So this is pulling behind the curtain for you guys in the Twitch chat, still hanging out here. It's been a fantastic show so far. We've had Jeff Meller and Marc Silverman from ESPN 1000 on. We got our fantasy football advice, and that is what we are going to segue into now. But before we do, I got to give my guys from FanBags a shout out. And so we're going to do what we always do here and do our little readout. So I'm going to pull up the banner so everybody knows where to find my guy Brian at FanBags. And here we go. And I'm going to do the little readout, and then we're going to get into some fantasy football talk. So those ESPN 1000 interviews with Jeff Meller and Marc Silverman are brought to you by FanBags Cornhole, Chicago's official supplier of professional cornhole boards and bags. Choose from any of their officially licensed designs or have my boy Brian design a custom set using anything from a selfie to your company's logo. Visit www.fanbagscornhole.com and use the promo code BRAGS to get 10% off your entire order. That's www.fanbagscornhole.com and use the promo code BRAGS to get 10% off. Step up your game with FanBags Cornhole. Bam! Trae,
you said it over. You said it over me.
I was questioning. We do it together. And my other sponsors, of course, are the guys you see over my shoulder, the Collector's Cave, as you see the banner over my shoulder as well. Make sure you visit www.thecollectorscave.com and make sure to find all your sports memorabilia needs. And look out for their latest public autograph signings where you can meet your favorite professional athletes from the Chicago area and everywhere else, nationwide. These guys do great work. Aaron and Mike, they've been in the chat today showing support, and I really appreciate them bringing me on their team. We've got an Andre Dawson signing coming up at Indiana Beach here in just a couple of weeks.
Dawson.
Yeah, hi, I'm Andre Dawson, including myself. Andre Dawson. They've got big autograph signings coming up. Jeff Blum from the White Sox, that'll be a couple months down the road. That'll be at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Bridgeport. And then they have Andre Dawson here coming up in just a couple of weeks at Indiana Beach here on, I believe, September 18th. I should have had the promo picture pulled up, but we kind of pulled this whole show together last minute. But again, visit www.thecollectorcave.com and you can find out everything you need to know for their upcoming autograph signings. And of course, if you need any kind of specific sports memorabilia, they're a one-stop shop for it all. And they've got some other autograph signings here coming up. potentially, but I'm not going to give any of those away. But keep on the lookout for some announcements, on Twitter and Facebook alike. So, I'm not sure. Capital Czar is asking, was Jeff Blum the one married to a Playboy bunny? Sylvie brought up Cade McNown, and I know he was, with a Playboy bunny at one point. I think he stole one of Hugh Hefner's personal girls, right? So I don't know what a stream deck setup is. Okay, Barlissimo. I'm a caveman. Trae is the tech wizard over here, but we'll get into all that stuff later. We got to get our ducks in a row. We are 15 minutes away from the Trae Tunes Fantasy League getting fired up, and we appreciate it, Waz. He's enjoying what he's seeing, so we appreciate you tuning in for this ESPN 1000 extravaganza. Now we are segueing to the Trae Tunes Fantasy Football Draft. So we're going to try to pull up a shared screen potentially, right? And we'll try to pull this up. Can you do this, Trae? Do you think you can pull one up? And then we can we got to work through this. So this is going to be a little bit more behind the curtain because we've never really done this before, but this will be good practice with this. So I can try to pull it up on my end too, if you'd like.
Well, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Let me. Yeah, we can both try. Why not?
Here. ESPN fan. Here, I think I can get it, right? Why can't I get it? I don't know. Let me see. Because we got to get it pulled up. And we got to get ESPN Fantasy Football. All right, we'll pull it up, and then I'll share my screen once I get logged in. So, because we're going to try to have the draft here so you can see it on the screen, and then you guys can know who's drafting what. So we'll see how this goes. If I can't do it, Trae, then you can try it.
All right.
And we are 15 minutes away, so this is a good point to try to get our ducks in a row, so to speak. I say that a lot, don't I, Trae?
Oh, we'll get our ducks in a row.
Yeah. Well, we got the Ducks lineup guy here on the Braggs in the Stands show. My guy Johnny B. He does.
Man, I didn't do it.
Hey, girl.
I forgot.
I know. I thought about asking you at one point when he started talking about some of those things.
Hey, where's Liana? Hey, girl. So, how much do you love me?
Oh man, I forgot all about it.
This is Sylvie. You don't know who Sylvie is?
Oh, that was so funny. It was crazy. I made a little beat out of it at one time, and
hey girl, hey girl.
So I think I'm getting it here. Yeah, we forgot to bring those up, but that's okay. We'll bring them on again. We try not to over ask our loyal guests to the show.
Right.
We are 11 minutes and 22 seconds away from this starting up. So I'm loading it up on my phone, joining the draft. So hold on, I got a commercial thing here going on. So I apologize, but we're doing our best here. The draft is getting started here in just a few moments, 10 minutes away, and we'll see how we do. I'm sure I'll do terrible.
Is Nick in the chat? He's the commissioner of the. Oh, there's Nature Boy. Did you change it to 30 seconds per pick? All right. Please say you did. Yeah, because how long do you do picks for on your draft, Braggs?
For 30 seconds sounds right, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because 30 seconds, because if we don't do 30 seconds, this draft could be 2 hours long.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so 30 seconds. No, 60 is too long. Pay attention, and it's 12 teams. It's not like it's 4 teams, and before the time that you draft will be, All right, so after each of your picks, it's going to be like 20 picks before you pick again. So I mean, for some people, so yeah. I mean, you just got to pay attention, and because one, I gotta be somewhere later. I can't do a 2 hour draft because my the 12 team draft I was in a few days ago. It was 45 minutes and it was 30 seconds and we were picking fast. So, I mean, everybody was engaged and I already know that somebody said that they're on auto draft. So I just like 30 seconds, it's more than enough time to.
All right. So I'm going to attempt to pull this up and do this right. But we'll see if I can do it.
I think you got it, yeah.
Yeah, but my problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to, like, we got this, but then
can you zoom into the browser like on the mouse pad how you can use your fingers to zoom in?
I don't know what you mean.
You almost, like on your phone, how you have a multi-touch where you can do that on a mouse pad of your computer.
Why? What's wrong with this?
No, well, can they really see that?
Can you see it?
No, not really. And plus, you don't want everybody seeing.
Right, because that's my problem is I can't get it. We need like an extra. We need like an extra we need like an extra person in the stream, and then we just pull it up off of that. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying
because you can't even see this, huh?
Nah, not really. Nah, I can't really see it.
Why? It's like really small.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell that it's ESPN. Well, maybe I can log in because I'm on another computer for maybe I can log in as a person on this computer.
All right, you try. I will remove this, and we'll try this. The real Tony Montana said it looks good. I think Trae's gonna have to do this because I'm not.
Well, if it looks good for them, yeah, go ahead and
you do it because I'm not good at this. I'm gonna mess it up.
Well, you had it.
I don't know.
I mean, if it look good to them, then, and plus they're all looking at the draft on their phones anyway. So, I mean, we're just here to talk, I mean, we all know who's getting picked. If everybody's in the draft, we're going to be talking the whole time anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because when I had it shared, could you could you see just me or the shared screen?
No, it was, I saw me and you on the side and then I saw the shared
try
screen.
It again then. I don't care. I didn't know. We shall see. All right, let me try this. I don't know what I'm doing. See, I'm just stupid. See what I'm saying? I'm not smart is the problem.
No, you're okay, Braggs. No.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm all right. And we're 5 minutes away, so we got to get this figured out. I don't know if it's been revealed who my team name is yet. See, because, it's exiting it out of my phone. I can only be in one.
Oh, yeah, then we're just going to have to do it on that then. I mean, we're just going to have to, we'll talk.
This is so stupid. I mean, I can just do it like this. All right, now what do you see?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
You see the shared screen, and then you see me and you, correct?
Yep.
All right, fine. We can do it like this. I don't care who sees where I'm looking. I'm not afraid of you people. What do you mean, you people?
Right, I was going to say. What do you mean, you people?
So we are 4 minutes away from the fantasy draft starting off. But I can't. Where does it show like the rest of the league? You know what I mean? Because this is just going to show my team. It's not going to show the league.
Oh well, you have to enter into the draft.
I'm in it.
Like on your phone, but right there, are you?
I'm in it on the computer. I can only be in one. I can't be in both.
Oh well, yeah, you can. Then yeah, you just gotta probably, because you said you like to do it from your phone, right?
Well, I can do it from here, but I'm just saying it's not going to show. I mean, it'll show the picks at the top of the screen, but it's not going to show like the league. It's just going to show my team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, well, right there under your team name, it says pick history.
Under my team name, which is where?
No, right there. I'll go down.
See.
Yeah. There is no pick history right now, but
right. Okay, so that's where I go to see the rest of the league. Yeah. I got you. Pick history. All right. We can try this for a little bit. See how it goes. I've got the 4th pick in the draft, and my team name officially is Spoonin' with Will. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not. Trae, you can feel free to pull up comments. I know everyone enjoys seeing their comments on the screen. Because I can't.
I missed what I said. That could have got this comment. I don't know. I don't know what I said.
You got Hurricane Ditka with the 1st pick, and that is Capital Czar. And Football in the Groin is pick number 2. Tony Montana is number 3, the 3rd pick in the draft. Good Juju and Bad Karma coming up after Spoonin' with Will at pick number 5. Rutherford B. Heinous, pick number 6. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm not. Carmen Casino is pick number 12. So he will get the reverse pick as we go to round 2. He'll get the 1st pick.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Like if at least it's a snake draft and it's not going to shoot all the way back up to number 1. Like he gets 2 picks, 12 and 13.
And who is John Smith? He keeps joining and leaving the draft.
John Smith. I think that's Tony Montana. No, it's not Tony Montana. Who? It says their name next to their. Yeah, I was like, who is John Smith? Like, who snuck into the league?
How does that look now? Because
there we go. Yeah,
I'm getting some help from my guys over at the Collector Cave.
They told you to click on the Zoom
my
button.
guy Aaron at the Collector Cave is helping me out on how to Zoom. So appreciate you. Now I can't see.
You can do it.
I can't see my damn.
It's ball. It's 53 seconds to draft to the 1st pick, and with the 1st pick.
This is going to be a shit show for my team, but I appreciate the help from you, Aaron, from the Collector Cave, my good and loyal sponsors here to the show here at Braggs in the Stands. Got a big show here coming up for Andre Dawson at Indiana Beach. I should have had the damn promo slip pulled up so you guys could see it in all its glory. So I apologize to you guys over at the Collector Cave for that. We kind of threw this show together at the last minute. I got a show coming up on Tuesday. I promise I will start the show off promoting the upcoming signing And then we're going to do another show on Friday to preview.
Welcome to the best day of the year, draft day.
That was I think my computer's hooked up to the.
Yeah, Saturday, October 9th, we got Miggy Montero and Aramis Ramirez at Catch 22, where I did the.
It's a minute and 30 seconds per pick.
Yo, I thought we said we were getting it down to 30 seconds. Trey's got to go. So you guys better pick fast here because there's 12 people in this league. Yeah, September 18th for my guy Andre Dawson in the Collector's Cave. So we'll get the promos out here for the show on Tuesday, getting our ducks in a row. If I have to say that again, I'm going to jump off a cliff. So
this is going to be this is not going to be good.
Why didn't they do it less? This is insanity.
Tony Montana, this is your first pick.
All right, so I am on the clock here.
All right.
I don't know who to take. Who should I take? I mean, I guess I can't go wrong with Alvin Kamara, but I'm a little worried about their quarterback situation. You know what I'm saying? This isn't easy. See, and there's stupid Ezekiel Elliott. And then look, and I'm the one that's going to take up all the time. And I'm sorry. I'm scared. I said I wasn't even going to, I was just going to let this be the practice run.
Pick Saquon. It's not like I mean the person I want's not going to be there anyway. I'm just going to take whoever.
All right, I'm taking Alvin Kamara. He's the top player on the board. You got to do it. This is stressful. It's already going down. See, this is what happens every time I do this. So I'll get into pick history while I wait for my pick to come up. We've got all running backs coming off the board. Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and Ezekiel Elliott, all with the top 5 picks. Rutherford B. Haynes is on the clock at pick number 6.
Yeah,
taking his sweet old time.
If it's taking this long in the first round, I know this is going to take forever. I mean, this is where your Captain Obvious picks are. It's like, oh boy, this is going to be it.
Austin Eckler taken with the 6th pick, but you're right. And I thought you said it was going to be 30 seconds between each pick. What happened here, Nick Laz?
I don't know what happened.
Sad state of affairs here.
It's like right now, you should be looking at who you're going to take.
Pretty bad state of affairs. Yeah, Antonio Gibson coming off the board here at number 7. So it's all running backs all day long to start this off. So, yeah, but I really enjoyed our interviews today. That means you are on the clock, Trae Tunes. Travis Kelce, the first non-running back to come off the board, is a tight end. Travis Kelce, Oliver Nipples and Titties.
Fuck it.
So you took Najee Harris, huh?
Yeah, I just don't. Well, I don't trust Saquon's health.
Okay.
I mean, I think the guy's a beast, but
it's his health, and then it's also that quarterback. It's the same reason I was a little scared about Alvin Kamara. You need a good quarterback for your You can have Ezekiel all day long, but if his quarterback isn't good, like we saw last year, he's worthless. So
See, the thing is with if I actually like Kamara this year because you got Jameis Winston that he's good at throwing the deep ball, but if he under good coaching, he'll do a lot more check downs instead of forcing turnovers, which means Alvin Kamara is going to get a lot more receptions.
That's true, but also more of the onus now that Drew Brees is out of the fold. He's more. They're going to rely on him more, which could lead to an injury too.
All right. Is LP Hallis? Is he here?
I don't know. Why did that go through the whole?
Yeah.
Great. Just great. Somebody get a hold of LP Hallis. So Carmen Casino's got back-to-back picks. He went real fast.
Right. That's the way you're supposed to.
Nick Chubb, that was a good pick. Now here come the wide receivers coming off the board. Carmen Casino with 2 good picks back to back.
I hate that I picked this guy, but he's the best running back of it. I like to get my running backs out the way.
Yep. As I'm eating some Cheez-Its here. So Rutherford B. Haynes is on that.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Oh shit! Who picked somebody I had in my queue?
Whoa, that's crazy. James Robinson coming off the board.
Yeah, that's somebody I had my eye on. That's why I said that. Seems like I'm on the clock and
Damn.
13.
DK Metcalf comes off the board, and I was just getting ready to take him.
Damn, I got 12 more picks before. See, this is that's why I meant by saying you don't need 30 seconds to pick because it's like I'm not picking for 12 more picks. So it's like you got time to see who you want.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. I'm taking forever. I'm sorry. Well, screw it. Let's have some fun here. I'm taking David Montgomery.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting over 20 carries a game. And if you don't, Matt Nagy, now it's personal. If you don't run this dude 20 times a game, I'm going to lose my mind.
When you said that, it sounded like Andy from The Office. It's like, if I don't know who put my stapler in Jell-O, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind.
I am cutting Phyllis's head off with a chainsaw.
Ring, ding, ding, ding.
So what college football games do we have going on? I got tennis on, I got the TV here going. I've never had the TV going, but I figured I'd have it running today.
Hopefully I get a good core because I'm probably definitely going to have to go to auto draft the way this is going.
You're going to leave me?
I might have to.
God dang it. Somebody better join. Where's Will? Will, get in here with your shirt off. Joe Burrow comes off the board extremely early, clearly not listening to the advice of one Jeff Meller.
Is Joe Burrow your cousin or something? Like,
oh, I'm about on deck, so I got to start looking around at who I'm going to take. We shall see. Who's the quarterback at Washington now?
Oh, Fitzmagic.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Fitzmagic.
In the air. Kittle's off the board. AJ Brown. That was one of my questions from Ella I didn't get in was at wide receiver. Like, who's that big name wide receiver that switched teams? That we got AJ Brown and not AJ Brown. AJ Green with Arizona. Got Julio Jones with Tennessee.
That's why it was a little because AJ Brown's a big time talent, but now with Julio Jones in the fold, how much is he going to take away from that?
Probably not much. I mean, that's another one that's health over the last 2 seasons for him is just can't stay healthy. One of the best talents in the game. Are you on this your pick again?
Yes, sir. And I'm just going to continue going down the running back road. It's hard to not get in on the Kansas City action as much as they're in the red zone. I'm taking Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, there goes my pick. Let's look elsewhere now.
You would have still been a few picks away.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you on auto?
No, no, I'm not. I'm just.
Why isn't it like if you're on auto and your pick comes up, it should pick in like instead of taking the entire time. You know what I mean? Because it's auto.
Right, that's true.
Instead of making us wait. Is it going faster than you anticipated, or is it going slower?
Slower. We're in the 3rd round, and
how many rounds are there?
Like 14, at least. I know, right? No, wait. It's like 16 rounds, right?
I'm not sure. So wait, there's no college football games on right now, huh? I mean, come on now. There's nothing. That's it. That's disappointing. I thought there'd be some college football on right now.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Yeah, somebody, of course, picked him before I was going to pick him, of course.
They got dunk contests on NBA TV. Can't go wrong with those.
Yeah. Yeah, I can already tell my team is going to suck.
Well, like Jeff Meller said, your team's going to roll over quite a bit. The 1996 dunk contest is on NBA TV right now for those of you that are looking for some action. Another quarterback coming off the board, Patrick Mahomes at 37.
Yeah, you can't be mad at that pick.
No, they're going to be scoring a lot of points. If you watched them in the preseason, slicing and dicing.
All right, I'm going to go out on a whim here.
Kyle Pitts. You're going down the Jeff Meller advice road. I was definitely eyeballing him.
Yeah, I said about it.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch. And he suggested round 5. So you're jumping us. You're jumping the gun as I'm 3 picks away. So
That's why I asked. I was like,
oh, you'd take him in round 5? Well, I'll take him in round 4. Boy, oh boy. Quarterback starting to come off the board here. Josh Allen comes off the board.
Okay, it's not a bad pick.
How many leagues are you in?
Yeah, 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Rutherford B. Heinous filling up the clock.
I'm gonna take my time. See, the trick is, guys, is to scroll all the way down and pick whoever's at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a little known fact.
All right. Oh no, yes, 16 rounds. Round 4 of 16.
Well, we're 15 minutes in, so
yeah. Well, it's going to take longer to pick the deeper we get in, because it's like people are going to take longer to, because it's like, okay, let me find out, even for me, it's like, okay, let me look and see who I need. Like, okay, I need defense. So let me look. It's like all of that's going to be going on in the later rounds. Let me start looking at kickers. And I'm just trying to throw everybody off the scent.
Yeah. Kickers, you say.
We both do that simultaneously.
Well, guess can't go wrong with some Tom Brady action. I'll just take best player available, Mr. Mike Evans. I do like myself Chris Godwin, but guess I'm going to go with the top line wide receiver over the 2. Chris Godwin ain't no slouch, though. That's for sure.
Right, yeah. That's why he's up there at 40.
Yeah, I was hoping that he would, I was hoping maybe if he came off of Tampa Bay that the Bears would take a look at him, because I really like Chris Godwin's game. And Chris Godwin comes off the board.
Right. Like, oh, you like him so much, huh? Yeah, that's kind of the disadvantage of us talking. It's like, I don't
Yeah,
even...
well, this is what happened. I went live for our league last year, and it was the same thing. Justin Fields comes off the board at 50. Football in the groin needs to be kicked right in the groin.
Are you sick? Oh, my God. Oh,
UB1, baby. I love it. Nice pick.
You know what's crazy? Like, I have
your convictions.
I have Justin League in both of my other teams, right? And I got him in like the 10th round.
My goodness, what a terrible pick. Although,
man,
if Andy Dalton rolls his ankle week 1 and Justin Fields throws for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, he'll get the last laugh. So let's hope he gets it.
As a matter of fact, I hope that was the best pick of the entire draft. I don't care if I come in last.
Even if he does have an outstanding year.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Oh man, who was
the real Tony Montana plucks Cooper Kupp from you?
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Man, this is a tough one. Here.
That's it. Hey, you're on the clock again. Like,
I'm on the clock, and I had this guy last year, and I just really enjoyed his fantasy output. So I'm going to roll with him again this year. I'm going Kyler Murray.
That's Sylvie's guy.
He had a good year for me last year. He's an injury concern because of that small body frame, but he's in his second year now. He's got a lot of weapons. They added Rondale Moore to that receiving threat, big-time wide receiver out of Purdue. And then obviously he has, Hopkins and all sorts of talent around him. So I wanted to keep the good juju going with Kyler Murray.
Okay. All right.
15 picks away, so I'm gonna let the pick history be on the screen. Is it big enough for everybody? I can't read the chat because I've got the screen pulled up for you guys. Let me know if you guys can read it nice and clearly. But I'm going to have to figure this out for Tuesday now because I'm doing another draft where I'm going to be live. I want to be able to pull this up, but I want to be able to see, our StreamYard. I can't see the stream. I can only see this.
Well, do you have another laptop or a computer?
Yeah, I guess I do. And that's what I need to do, don't I?
Yeah. Just you log in on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, that's what we'll do. Makes sense. You're so smart, Trae.
I try to be.
Mike Davis coming off the board.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Who keeps picking my picks right before it's my pick?
Somebody's looking at your board somehow. Round 6 of 16. We're 20 minutes in. That's not terrible.
All right. Yeah, it's not.
Lamar Jackson came off the board.
Oh, for real? God damn it.
He's a good fantasy option, obviously, with everything he does.
Okay.
So we're moving along here. We're moving along.
All right. I wanted to get a. Never mind. I'll just go this way.
I'll tell you what, I've been really attracting the crazies on Twitter, and I'm not talking just Will.
Oh wow! What's been happening?
There's this guy named Joe Schmosteedman, and he's just been crazy. He's just been crazy.
Need me to go kick his ass?
Yeah. It could be little kid, and he's just got a burner account.
Who knows these days? Aaron is off the board.
Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron.
So here we go. Dak Prescott just came off the board.
Yeah.
Risky pick, Rutherford B. Haynes. I am officially on the clock. Who do I take? Oh, boy. Well, we still got, I guess I'm going to have to go Chase Claypool. Get myself another wide receiver. I mentioned him earlier. It would only stand a reason to take him.
All right.
When I see all positions, it makes me think of, what is that in Rush Hour? He's like, I don't want one position, I want all positions.
Oh, yeah. Those were some good movies.
When I went to Rush Hour 2, That was like one of those moments in a movie theater where I've never heard a louder audience. Like you couldn't even hear the movie. People were laughing so loudly, like just screaming. I mean, it was definitely one of the most entertaining audiences for a movie theater I've ever been.
You know what's funny about this story I'm finna tell about this movie is that I was working at the movie theater when this movie came out. And with Haitian Drew, we went to the movies. I forgot what movie we went to go see, and then I was like, "Yo, let's go watch something about Mary." I heard it's going to be pretty funny, and they're like, "Man, nobody want to see that movie, man." This, Cameron Diaz on the cover. I'm like, "Man, I'm telling you, this movie is going to be hilarious." I think it was with Haitian Drew and a friend of ours named Calvin. And they left, and I was like, man, I'm going to go see it. And they both left, and man, I had to look. I don't think I've ever had such a fun experience in the movie theater, especially with people I didn't know. Mm-hmm. It's like we were like hugging each other, laughing, like, oh my god, did you like they're like I had no idea who these people were. It's like you're laughing and you're just like it was so funny. Of course, everybody knows how funny that movie is, but man, probably one of my favorite movie experiences.
See, I was younger back when that came out, and my mom took my sister and her friends to that movie. That was what she wanted to see for her birthday. And after the opening scene where they cut out his penis is cutting it,
yeah,
my mom literally pulled them all out of the theater and embarrassed my poor sister.
Right.
That's my memory of this. Something about Mary. My mom was not expecting that. Why she stayed in the movie theater with them, I'll never know. But it was a terrible mistake.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
All right.
See, so we're almost halfway through.
Yeah.
We're 27 minutes in. That's not terrible.
No, it's not.
I need you to be more positive, Trae. Let's go, nipples.
It's funny their name is similar to mine. I love titties. See, that's how you pick. Boom, get it out.
What do you think of my team name?
Oh, it's awesome.
And I like this comment. I came back into the stream to check things out. I actually did. This is part of my strategy I've done many years in my original league, but sometimes I'll stack quarterbacks for two reasons. One, so I can have options. I don't want crappy options. I'm always obsessed with it. That's why I asked Jeff Meller what he does with his quarterback strategy, because I always go too early with him. But the other reason am I up right now?
No, that was me.
Okay. The other reason I take them is for trade bait. If I get a couple guys and my main guy works out, then I can flip my other quarterback for a position of need and then try to find that diamond in the rough quarterback like a Justin Fields who was taken at 50.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I'm stacking them up. So, just going through the chat. Yeah, I mean, are we doing this for money at all, Trae, or is this just for fun?
Well, just for fun. Can you imagine trying to collect the money from?
Well, like Sylvie said, we just do Venmo. I mean, I'm down for money, but if you want to just do it for fun, that's fine too.
No, I will too, but It's who man, I'm not man.
We'll have to chase people down.
Right. I'm
turn
not
them upside down and shake their pockets out.
Right. That's what I'm not for. I'm not for all of that. Like if y'all want to do the money, go ahead and send it to me. I'm not in it.
Am I up?
Yep.
Oh, great. Here we go. Look at I did that quick.
That's what she said.
Man. Ooh. Man, I like this. This is tough. This is a tough one here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's also what she said.
She says a lot.
Yeah. Always talking her.
Sony Michel. Is Sony Michel their main running back? Didn't their top running back get hurt?
Yeah, he's not the starting running back. I can tell you that much. Well, is he? I doubt it. I think all the starting running backs are gone.
Yeah, or else he'd be off the board by now.
But a lot of people do use two running back systems, and
I'm gonna go with a flyer here. I really like his game. I saw him at Soldier Field week 1 of the preseason. He looks fast with a capital F. Jalen Waddle is my pick.
Oh, okay.
Why is he questionable, huh? Oh. We got.
I don't like how my team looks.
You'll be all right.
Will I?
You will. You got a long season. Let's go, groin. Take Nick Foles. Zach Wilson coming off the board.
What? Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh wow, Sonny Michel. He's not. I thought he was on the Patriots. He's on the Rams.
He's on the Rams.
Oh.
He'll be sharing work with Daryl Henderson. Yeah, you just got traded just a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
Got the slam dunk contest on behind me. 1996, one of the greatest years in history.
But for the dunk contest?
Yep.
Who was in the dunk contest in 96? Was that the year Kobe Bryant was in it?
Michael Carr. Was it Daryl Ham? I forget how his first name. Ham from the Nuggets. Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, Sura from I think
Cleveland, right?
Cleveland, and then Michael Finley.
Dallas Maverick at the time, I believe.
What was Ham's first name? I forget.
Was it Darvin Ham?
Yeah, I thought it was Darvin Ham. Darvin or Marvin?
It's definitely Darvin, I think. I know it starts with a D. He said, whoever took that tight end, fuck you.
I needed a tight end, and that was me. Sorry, I needed a tight end. I was filling out my starters. Now I'm going to start working on my bench. So I apologize, Carmen. I guess we're not giving out kisses today. Who said I took forever? I took him right away. What are you talking about? I took him right away. So I don't know what to tell you guys. So what else is new with you, huh? Did you enjoy the show today?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, definitely enjoyed the show.
I'll get you that. I'll cut that up of Sylvie giving you the show promo so you can start adding that to your Twitch stream.
All right, yeah. Sylvie got Cap.
Sylvie and Cap, and then we lost the one with
Beck and John.
Beck and John, because
Yeah.
I can't go back and find that one anymore. Are you on the clock now?
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's go with pick with my heart right now. It was Mooney.
Is that who you took?
Yeah.
That really pisses me off, Trey. Because that's who I was going to take next. Really pisses me off.
Yeah, you can take Adams.
Really?
Tariq Cohen's in there, right?
In my other league, I would take him every year, but he's hurt this year, so that ain't happening. Man, that really pisses me off that you did that. I don't appreciate it.
Well, what was it? Like, suck it, Pam, suck it. Where's Stanley? Go tell Stanley to suck it. Suck it, Stanley.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Damn it. Son of a bitch. Right before this.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Whoever's doing this is picking them right before. It's like the person that's picking right before me. You raggedy motherfucker.
That's what you get.
God damn it.
I don't feel bad for you one bit after what you did to me.
Fuck it. I'll just draft a name.
Well, who was that?
Antonio Brown. Yeah, it's just a name at this point, I guess.
Hey, look at this. 38 minutes in, we're 10 rounds in. How long can the last 6 rounds take?
A very long time. Just think about it. Like everybody included. I'm not acting like everybody's slowing down. I mean, I'm not acting like everybody's going slow, but I mean, because I'm going to go slower too, because I know I got the time. Hopefully, nobody takes longer than a minute to pick.
Young Ray Allen with the big throwdown here.
Ray Allen was like one of my all-time favorite players.
He got game.
No, it's not that I have the inside scoop. It's like the person that's picking the player I want is picking literally right before me. Right. It's not like it happened 3 times already. And it's not like they were the best available. They were like down there a little bit. You son of a bitch.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Ha ha. Ha ha.
On to the next one. Let's see.
Guess I'm gonna start stacking here and getting my guys, but I'm not saying what until Bad Kamara.
Well, all right, at least you're on the clock now.
Yeah.
As I said, clock.
Mike Gesicki. Oh, you didn't want to take Adam Shaheen? I'm gonna go with Sony Michel here. Darrell Henderson's gonna get folded up like a I don't know, whatever, by Roquan Smith week 1. And Sony Michel will be the RB1 for the Rams after week 1. Folded up like a chair. I have a chair.
I don't know these people.
Dang, Michael Pittman comes off the board. I was going to take him. I don't appreciate that shit. God damn, dude. You guys are evil.
To be evil. How about no, Scott?
Marquise Callaway comes off the board. We are 1 pick away from Greg picking. I got this podcast room I'm in. It's getting hot in here. Between the TV being on and Bobby Sura missed the dunk.
Who picked Carlos Santos? Carlos Santos. Trevor Lawrence is off the board.
Interesting. Very interesting.
What round are we in? 11?
We're in round, or not round 12. We're almost round 12. Almost, Trey. You're going to make it to the ball on time. You got an outdoor show today.
Ball. Yeah. I'm so dreading this. I don't want to do it. I'm tired.
You want me to go there and do it?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like, who the hell is this guy? You're like, pump the gym, pump it up.
Tony Montana, enjoy your drink. I'm going to drink my Gatorade water. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. I drink Mio with water. No drinking for me today. It's so nice that we have tomorrow off.
Oh, yeah.
You got tomorrow off. That gets you a day closer to Sunday. I'm going to be... And then Friday night is the birthday party meetup.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
I almost forgot about it. We were at a wedding yesterday and we were talking about it. And she was like, yeah. We started talking about birthdays. I was like, oh, yeah, her birthday is this month. She's like, yeah, in a few days. I was like, oh, shit. It's on Monday, isn't it?
Oh man,
there's so much going on here. And you know what's bullshit is when it's my birthday's on November 29th. And as soon as November starts, I'm one of those people that announces it's my birthday month. I draw a lot of attention to myself. I make a big whoop about it, ask people what they're getting me. So there's no, by the time November 29th rolls around, everyone knows it's my birthday. They're almost sick of hearing about it. My wife tried to it's like a secret, and she's going to see if I remember. And if she doesn't, she's going to act like, oh, you didn't remember, and like try to be a victim. Like, you know what? You got to speak up, all right?
Right. Yeah, that's funny.
I am on the clock in 3 picks.
Cole Beasley, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me fill out this roster.
Who just got picked?
Jacoby Myers, I think.
Okay, man. You want to play rough?
If you're reading the breakdowns and
don't judge me. All right? Come on now. Why you gotta do this?
Let's see what the experts have to say.
Oh shit!
Although they had a promising preseason, what's crazy is that there is something like that for every player. Like, who sits and types out all that?
Ain't it?
Wow.
God damn it! I don't know what to do, dude. This is your fault.
Well, I would give you some advice, but I have to.
I guess I'm just gonna have to go with a tight end because I have no choice.
Yeah, that is good advice. I should look at some tight end.
I only got 2 bench spots still open, so I got to start doing some thinking here. I think I know who I'm going to take with both my last 2 picks before I start dipping into other things, but I'm not giving them away. And if anybody takes them, I'm kicking them out of the stream. Let's go, groin. Nick Foles.
You pick Jamal Williams.
Hunter Henry. Hey, we're burning through this.
Yeah.
We're doing it. 1 hour for 12-team league, 16 rounds. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Right. Yeah, it's not too. Could have been over by now. 30 seconds. No.
Yeah, but my team would look way worse, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think my team could look any worse. I don't know. I'm just not liking my team. I don't feel good about this. I don't know. I don't like it because of Aaron Jones does well. That means Green Bay is doing well, and I don't like that.
Wait a minute. God damn it, real Tony Montana. Get out of the stream. Sorry for yelling. I'm going to take my guy Rondale Moore, pair him up with Kyler Murray. Dude's big-time talent. That really pissed me off, Tony Montana. Like, you pissed me off big time there. Don't ever speak to me again. Got a lot of rookies. I got Waddle and Rondale Moore.
Waddle, waddle away. Waddle, waddle.
Somebody could have Kirk Cousins.
Oh, what? He's still available? I'm on the clock and 2 picks. 1 pick. Of course, they're going to pick somebody I have my eye on. Yeah, I'm going to pick this.
Is this PPR? What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's a PPR. I don't know who these receivers are.
Really pissed me off that you took Mooney. Like, I didn't appreciate that.
It was Mooney.
Carmen Casino.
All right. Getting through this. Round 14.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Bitch.
They're flying off the board now.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan. Mac Jones. I had my eye on Mac Jones.
Yeah, you don't anymore because he's on my
That's a good late round pick there, you know?
Yeah, he's QB1.
QB1.
With Belichick. Hey.
Definitely a better pick than Matt Ryan, who sucks.
Some of the experts, I was watching a show. No, I was listening to the show yesterday morning. What's the guy that does the bets with Carmen? I forget his name. The odds couple.
Oh, Mike North.
Mike North. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, Mike North was distinctive voice. Yeah, he said that he thinks Matt Ryan's going to have a breakout year this year.
You can. Mike North is a goof and can say some off the wall things sometimes, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to gambling. And sometimes he'll go the opposite on something, and everybody's like, "You're crazy," and then he hits it. A lot of it is gambling related, and that's kind of the way how he picks.
Right. They were talking about Matt Ryan as in relation to Kylie Pitts being Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Khalil Herbert by Oliver Nipples and Titties. Interesting pick. I mean, if David Montgomery were to ever go down, I don't think Damian Williams would be considered the feature back. I think they would go with Khalil Herbert. I think he showed enough to be the kind of guy that would be your first and second down back, and then a guy like Damian Williams would be more in the passing down situation. So that's an interesting pick. But when Tariq Cohen returns, and then you've got Herbert and Cohen and Williams and Montgomery, it's a little bit of a risk, but it's a big risk. But this late in the draft, not a costly one like taking Justin Fields at 50. But an interesting one, could potentially be a guy that, if David Montgomery goes down, that they use quite a bit. I really like his game.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start to see defenses coming off the board.
Yeah, I'm gonna draft Jesper Horsted. He had three touchdowns in their last preseason game.
Yep. The pride of Princeton.
I'm sorry, but who is Jake Butt?
Jake Butt is a tight end.
Yeah.
Came from Michigan, right?
Yeah, I just saw him on the Bears roster. I'm like, who is Jake Butt?
Nelson Aguilar. I caught that dude that caught that baby out the window. He's like, then drop that baby, or like Aguilar. You know what I'm talking about? He literally just saved a baby from a burning building.
Right.
And he still took a shot at Aguilar's drop passes that day.
Dude, that was crazy. Yeah, that was funny. I do remember that. When you said, I was
like Aguilar.
That's funny. All right. Cole. When did Cole Kmet get drafted?
I don't know. I was looking all over for him earlier, but I didn't see him. So I took somebody else. I took Austin Hooper.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think Cole Kmet could have a good year, depending on who his quarterback is. Although Andy Dalton is a check down guy. So
all right, we're getting there.
Hey, we may finish at the 1 hour mark. That's not bad. You were negative the whole time about it, and I told you don't be negative.
I can't help it. I've been talking to Will too much.
It's contagious. See, Will, a 3 hour show, and you weren't even on here to get triggered. He's not even in the chat.
All right, he's on some yacht somewhere.
This is your yacht. This is my yacht. Jesper Horsted taken by Lazar. Oh man,
that's hilarious. Oh,
good luck with that one.
That's why I told you how the chat influences the picks. Sometimes that's funny.
Let's go, Tony. Enough of the goofy stuff.
And we'll have 5 more picks.
What should I do?
What do you do?
What do tigers dream of? When they take a little tiger snooze. Do they dream of mauling zebras or Halle Berry in her Catwoman suit? Don't you worry, pretty scrappy head. We're gonna get you back to Tyson and your cozy tiger bed. Then we're gonna find a best friend, Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, 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 Dougie, Doug. And if he's been murdered by crystal meth tweaker, shit out of luck.
All right. With the
I did not get locked on a roof in Vegas. Thank you very much. I did, however, get too drunk Saturday when we were there that I fell asleep too early. Everybody went out without me because I fucking couldn't. I couldn't make it. I day drank way too hard that day. After watching Trubisky slice up our team while Justin Fields about had his head taken off, it made me down that bottle. Couldn't help myself. Yesterday was a good day of football. Georgia, Clemson. That was a hell of a battle. Trey, did you watch any of that?
No, I did not.
You rarely see a Clemson versus Georgia game where no offense was scored.
What? No offensive what? What was the score?
10-3. The only touchdown was a pick six by Georgia. Georgia won.
Wow.
Am I on the clock right now?
No, it's me. I think it's me.
Yeah, UGA won. It was an impressive defensive effort. They got this guy number 99 in the middle of their defensive line that is an absolute monster. Like, oh my God. And then their cornerbacks were really locking it down. Like I said, they had a pick six that was the decider of the game. And yeah, it was a great game. Yeah, 1 hour, not bad. Trey was being very negative to start, and we proved him wrong.
Which is what I wanted. Just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourselves.
What is LP Hallis in the chat right now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because people are saying to him in the chat that, yo, LP Hallis just joined. Real Tony Montana said LP Hallis just joined. What the fuck? How many times did we say it was at 11 a.m.? Because, yeah, it did start out at 12, and then we switched it.
Right, because I got to be somewhere at 1, and that's what would have been
You want to be somebody. You
wanna go somewhere. You gotta wake up and pay attention.
Where's that from?
Sister Act.
Sister Act. Great movie.
Yeah. Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, when Jesus was.
Look at I have to do both.
Right. When Jesus was. Like I'm the lead and the background.
Oh, I'm truly a jackass.
Hey, is Ghost in the chat?
Who am I taking here? I guess I got to take. I don't know who the hell to take.
Oh boy, you're still picking?
Well, we were singing.
Oh, I thought the draft was over.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Oh, is Haitian Drew? You're the one who picked Joe Burrow like third. What's your third pick?
Okay, we did it. 1 draft down, 1 draft to go.
Yeah, that's my last draft and my worst draft.
Haitian Drew, Joe Burrow, steal of the draft. I don't know about all that.
All right. Team, I love TDs. All right, I got Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Allen Robinson, Kylie Pitts, Tyler Lockett, Juju Smith, whatever, Schuster, Justin Herbert, Tom Brady, Darnell Mooney, Antonio Brown, James Wright, Cole Beasley, the Bills defense, Mac Jones, AJ Green, and Matt Gay.
I just think of Blue Streak when Dave Chappelle is arrested. He's like, I don't know, sir, but all I can tell you is that he's gay. Gay.
That is one of the funniest. All I can tell you.
If I don't get out, I'm talking.
Right.
Beck and John in the house.
Okay.
We can hear you good, loud and clear.
Maybe it's the StreamYard, I guess. I don't know.
So, are we done with the draft?
Officially? Yes, officially.
It's over. Well, we appreciate everybody hanging out here today. We're going to let Trae get to it. You know, it's been a long 3-hour show, lots of action. Jeff Meller came on to start, give us some fantasy football advice and explain himself for not paying up in his fantasy leagues. Had a great time, 30-minute session with Mr. Marc Silverman, doubled up on his 15-minute promise. So, not my fault, though, Sylvie. I blame you and Trae. I wasn't even talking. I was in the back. What you got there, Trae? What you got there?
Do you remember these shoes?
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, I got these. I'm so happy. Finally get these in my size.
They're big shoes.
Yeah, we're size 14.
Oh, you know. He's like, this is a size 14. No big deal.
Yeah.
No big.
1995 right here.
There you go.
Grant Hills.
Hills. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Awesome. I was looking for these in my size for like a year. It's just a nostalgia. I love, I was like in 8th grade when I got these shoes and just getting them again is pretty cool.
They weren't size 14s back then.
It was crazy. I was a size 13.
Good Lord.
Yeah, like my shoe size stuck with my age up until I was 14, and then
jeez Louise.
They stopped right there.
Chubbs, you're supposed to be on my side. Like, you're my loyal viewer. Back when only Chubbs would watch this show. And now he's turning on me. Now that we have an audience in the chat, you know. I feel like this is performative, art here from Chubbs. He's trying to show off to the rest of the chat by being mean to me. Don't give in to everybody else. You can stay loyal and have my back. Very few people have my back. You saw Sylvie busting my shit, a whole chat bust my Will bust my shit. I got this guy on Twitter. So yeah, those are nice shoes, though, for sure. I've never been much of a shoe guy. I never got like Jordans growing up. I always just wore the K-Swiss specials. So, but
with a pair of classic K-Swiss. These are probably the most like check these out. Like, I was showing the shoes off the other day. That's why they're all right here.
Dang.
All red Air Force Ones. Red all the way around.
Man, with the green screen, they look like they have like a glow around them.
All right. They got the glow.
Just let your soul glow.
Just to let it shine through, yeah.
All right, nothing wrong with K-Swiss. Shout out to Faye. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Chubbs. He does always have my back. I'm just giving you shit. K-Swiss and Avias. Yeah. And LA Gears.
I had the
light ups.
And I had the Pro Wings, the XJ900s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's so crazy. Like I know, like fashion and shoes is like way deeper with the kids now than it was with us. It's like we used to wear we liked the Jordans, but we used to wear the Pro Wings. Well, yeah, you got the Pro Wings for Payless. Like, yeah, me too. And with the British Knights and the LA Gears shoes, we had all of those because we used to tear our shoes up because we were outside running all day.
Right.
So they weren't going to spend all that money on shoes and stuff. So, I mean, it's like what's crazy is that my sisters, like when people be like, yeah, you were spoiled. I didn't even realize how spoiled I was until I was grown. Like, cause my sisters would give me the Jordans and stuff. And when I was younger and I just like, all right, they're cool shoes and stuff. I was excited about everything, when I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't like, we didn't we didn't like shame anybody for like wearing Payless shoes and stuff like that when we were kids.
No, only the lucky ones had the Jordans and shit. Like, it's not like nowadays where it's like a race to get it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
There'd be like one kid with the nicest shoe. The
Right.
rest of them were just wearing the regular shit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Never got into it. I never did. You'd think I'd been all over because I was obsessed with everything Michael Jordan, but I just didn't for whatever reason.
Right, yeah.
I just wanted a clean look. I wasn't into all the traffic.
Right. Yeah, I did. When I was in high school, and I was like FUBU jersey crazy in high school. I had every
Jinko jeans.
Jinko jeans.
Remember the Jinkos? JNCOs?
Oh yeah, I do.
We called them Janko. I don't know if that's what you guys called them. Everybody would wear the Janko jeans. I didn't.
Yeah, my mom used to take me to JCPenney to get jeans and stuff, and it was always like those like the Levi jeans and on sale at JCPenney. That's something for me. And my sisters, they were the ones that were in the fashion. They used to get me the Jabot jeans and the Guess jeans and stuff like that. And I didn't even know what I was wearing at the time. I'm like, okay, they're pants, And when I look at pictures I'm like, man, I was G'd up. I was like, man, I got the Jabot, I had a Guess watch and the little gold chain with the Guess charm on it. And I was like, what? I didn't know what I was doing, but when I look back, I'm like, man, I was pretty fly right here.
You are pretty fly, Trey. You are very fly.
And I'm sorry, they're giving Leno way too much grief.
Sure. Yeah. You got the hot feet. You got the hot feet.
Yeah, I was being good. Right, next time, all right, Sylvie's birthday party.
You're going to cut her off.
Yes, we are going to.
Dance off? You want to dance off?
Dance off.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're getting into apparel talk, I've been getting a lot of questions. You're seeing the shirt, the QB1 here. I'll blow it up for y'all. You want to get the QB1 shirt? Down below, go on to teespring.com. Just search Braggs in the Stands on Teespring. Google Braggs in the Stands Teespring, or you can do this.com that you see at the bottom of your screen, and you can have this QB1 shirt. I've been getting a lot of questions on Twitter about it. Some different people have been picking it up. I want to shout out my guy David Snedeker on Twitter. He actually just picked up a hoodie here recently. You can get them in shirts, hoodies, different color options. Go ahead and check out all the custom-made Bears apparel from my guy, Jake, co-host and producer here at Braggs in the Stands. another really cool thing, and I'm sure you saw this too, Trey, that I shared along, was our guy, friend of the show here at Braggs, D'Lo Brown, taking a picture at the Impact Studios with a Braggs in the Stands custom-made Bears shirt, the Fields Day shirt, which you can also get at our Teespring store. Maybe we'll bring D'Lo Brown on next Friday. I don't know if you're available next Friday night. Not sure what your schedule looks like.
This upcoming Friday or the next Friday?
This upcoming Friday.
Well, Sylvie's, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe we'll do it. I mean, we could do it Saturday, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Sylvie's birthday party. Because normally when I during the football season last year, I would do my shows on Fridays. So just to preview the game that week. You know, I do a show Friday. Maybe we can do it Thursday. Maybe we could do it Thursday before the first game of the year. What are you doing Thursday?
Well, I have to DJ Thursday.
What time?
I DJ from 8:30 to 1.
Well, if you're interested, maybe I'll reach out since we're doing the Sylvie birthday party Friday night. If you're interested, I'll reach out to D'Lo and see if we can do a show Thursday at like 6 o'clock for an hour.
Sounds good.
If you want to do it, we can do a show right before Thursday night football, first game of the year. Who's playing the first game of the year? It's the Bucks and who? The Chiefs? Is it a rematch of the Super Bowl?
No, because the Chiefs play somebody else. The reason why I know, because when I was looking at the fantasy thing, I saw like the opponent. I just can't remember who they play.
Kansas City. It's not
they play Cleveland.
It's the Bucks that play Thursday, though. It's always the Super Bowl champ, right?
Oh, the Bucks Cowboys.
Bucks Cowboys is first game of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Bucks Cowboys Thursday night. Be on the lookout. We'll have our NFL season preview Thursday night. I'll be going live Tuesday night for my personal league's fantasy draft. As we call it, the last second league. We'll just be having some fun like we were today. No guests or anything, just bullshitting. Some of the people that are a part of the draft will be on the show, and I'm sure they'll be busting my balls as well. But again, wanted to shout out David Snedeker and D'Lo Brown for giving me some love, showing off their Braggs in the Stands gear, which you can get on our Braggs in the Stands Teespring store. And it looks like this when you go into the Google. We got all sorts of Braggs in the Stands hoodies and tank tops and mugs, and got a Cash Mooney shirt we did a little design on. Extend AR, even though the Bears will never do that. And a lot of other things. We got the QB1s. Obviously, you can get them in hoodies and shirts, different colors in the Fields Day. Be adding to that store as we go along here in the football season. So that about wraps things up for today, Trey. I'm going to let you get to it, my brother.
Right. I do have to get going.
Yeah, you got the work to do. So shout out one more time to our guy, Jeff Meller from ESPN1000. And, of course, our good friend, Marc Silverman. Thank you for coming on today. And thank you to everybody in the Twitch chat for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun here today. Successful show, Trey. Thanks for having some fun. Enjoy your day of work. Hopefully it's not too hard. And you can get home, sit back, relax, and watch the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And, this wraps up the preseason coverage for the year. Really appreciate everybody's support through the training camp coverage and everything else. So that will do it for that. And now it's on to the regular season and when Justin Fields is going to start. So we shall find out. So for Trae Tunes, I'm Gregory Braggs Jr., and this is the Braggs in the Stands Trae Tunes Show crossover. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.